And we are live. I mean, we were already live, but we are double live now because I actually started talking. So, the gang's all here to torture ourselves once more. Thank you. Hey. No, I also know it all by heart. I couldn't get it out of my head. Okay. Well. Oh, hold up. Yeah, my desktop audio was way too low. My bad. Oh, I accidentally muted all of you. I'm stupid.
Oh, hold on. I'm on my chibi. I'm gonna change it. What was the website called again? The Discord Avatar website?
Look, sing it again. Sing it again.
I'll have to sing again.
Sing it again.
Oh, happy Fazbear birthday, pizza, games, and cake. Open up your presents until your tummy aches.
Hey.
You are 1 year older on your special day, and when this song is over, you'll be on your way.
Hooray!
Woo!
I don't know.
Anyway,
the lyrics,
what was that? Oh, it was like what was that Discord React thing again? Because I need to change it over to my YouTube sprite.
No, you're fine. You're already there.
With the other people.
You've already got your YouTube thing.
No, but what is it called?
Fujitech.
Fujitech.
No, I do. I just want to change it.
Oh no, it's already on your
Fujitech,
YouTube
that's
avatar.
Wait, it is?
Yes, I'm seeing your little sprite thing.
Yeah.
No,
with
it's on the little.
Yep.
No, I want it to be the hold on, give me a sec.
Sure, go for it. Anyway, I'm gonna walk chat through what's gonna happen. So, I already told this to all of you amazing people here today, and I'm very grateful for all of you for being here. But, look, I've had a good day.
What?
And it's time to put that to an end. Because we're gonna be talking about Midnight Motorist.
Yeah.
I've had enough fun today. So we are going to be talking about the worst minigame of all time.
He's approaching.
I think we're brain rotted from FNAF.
He has also alcohol, unnamed alcohol, and he is going to hit you with his car.
Gibby had one request: is that we
talking
not
about
play
that,
the Midnight Motorist
there's
song.
a crack theory to start off the stream. Crack theory: any character who's ever gotten hit with a car ever in FNAF were hit by William Afton while he was drunk driving.
Oswald.
Oswald
17 times or 14 times.
Yeah, Oswald getting hit by William Afton 17 different times.
So
it's like the
I need to read Return
like
to
he
the
gets
Pit
hit by
already.
the car and the car backs up and hits him again. Like,
where is my?
I need to
ball?
read Return to the Pit already because everything I've heard about it sounds like a lie, but I'm pretty sure
It's
the
true.
blast.
It's all
Yeah,
true.
it's real.
Connie
got it. Me and Connie got it early because we went to our bookstore and they had like 15 copies out early. And I'm kind of glad we got it early because Connie was able to sit there and be like, "Y'all, we can't. This is so. It's so. It feels like home, and by home I mean like reading the second half of Fazbear Frights and going, "Oh, this is weird."
Oh.
And the authors were clearly tired and hyped up on caffeine and cocaine, and were like, "Fuck it."
More cocaine than caffeine, I'd say.
It comes and goes.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Okay.
Honestly, my running theory with why Return to the Pit was weird is either Scott promised he would do that or Scholastic requested that of him when the game was coming out, but then they sat down to write it and they were like, shit, we can't just do a rerun of the game and we can't do a rerun of the original, so we have to do something new. So they racked their brains and came up with the randomest bullshit, and hey, it's something new.
Look, I got my physical copy
sure is
today.
new.
It's new.
I got my physical copy today, and I actually got 2 copies by accident. So I was gonna burn one of them, but I'll give them to one of my friends, so it's okay.
Yeah! Dude, you need to burn it and do it for like the opening bit of a video or something.
I already did my Return to the Pit video last week. I would have burnt it.
Okay, here's an idea.
Yeah.
As an art
Go
student,
back
here's
in
my
time.
pitch. Here's my pitch.
Go ahead.
Take the papers out. Like rip the pages out. Make an origami bunny and then set it on fire.
Oh.
Not
can't
playing
do
Henry's
that.
speech. No.
I
Not
have a
even playing
disappointment
Henry's
for you.
speech, reciting Henry's speech like you're trying to summon a demon. Put the burning bunny in a circle and recite Henry's speech and make everyone around you think you're about to summon something.
Connection terminated.
Better
I'm
make
sorry
it into
to interrupt
Oswald
you,
and run it
Scott
over with
Coffin,
a car.
if you still
Yeah,
remember
and then
that
run it
name.
over with a car.
But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a time-traveling ball pit, nor have you been called here by the editors you assumed. In fact, but God, how did it go? Nor if you
It's
can call here, but
over.
you have all been called here.
It's over.
It's so Jover.
A maze with no prize.
Yeah, but I forgot like the actual like bit that he says after because he's like,
Do mazes
"You've all
usually
been
have
called
prizes?
here."
At Freddy's.
I mean, I guess making it out is the prize.
Yeah, because like with the original Labyrinth, like the prize was there wasn't a prize. You were just being fed to the Minotaur.
Oh.
Well, in Monty's maze, you get a Faz token at the end.
That's true.
No, I know
Maybe
the speech.
William Afton,
Chat, I know
was
the
looking
speech
for
by
Faz
heart.
token.
I know the speech by heart. I just got lost and now I don't remember it. Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed.
I
You're
remember
not here
the
to receive a
speech.
gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assumed. And then it's like something, but you have all been called here. But
Although you have indeed been called.
Although you have
all
indeed been called here into this labyrinth
Did
of
Henry
sights and
accomplish
smells,
that?
misdirection
We
and misfortune,
never
a maze
talked
with no
about that.
a
How
labyrinth
did
with
he
no
do
exit,
that?
a maze with no prize. Crash. Thank you. Oh, I need to move the alert box.
Fake fan. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Crash, thanks for
Guys, we still need a
the super
1v1
chat.
in.
Happy birthday. Hope you have a Fazrific day, Withered Circle. It's been great getting to see
I
you.
hope y'all know that
I also want to
every
say hi to
time.
everyone. Hey, Crash.
I hope you know that every time there's a bit of silence on one of our streams, Connie starts reciting chapter 1 of My Immortal.
Okay, yeah, you fixed it.
Why
is your donation
Raven
thing
Way.
sus Chica withered?
Huh?
I saw that. I didn't want to mention it.
Yeah.
Wait,
No, we're
what?
talking about
Yeah,
it.
my
You
super
do not
chat,
have
my
your
super chat gif
donation
is like
as
the
Chica
Chica Riz
licking her
gif.
lips.
It's like the Chica Riz gif. Hell yeah.
Explain yourself.
Look,
Withered, if I ever see you, I'm drop kicking you on site.
PAX West. PAX
We need
West.
to start sending. We need to, have y'all seen that animation video where it's someone watching that video and they look up and Chica's standing there at the counter looking disapprovingly? We need to make that real for Withered.
Yes.
We need to recreate that. Yes.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, we need to
sleep.
get Chica.
I'll wake up tomorrow and Chica will just be looking at me disapprovingly, like, what have you done?
Yeah.
How dare you desecrate my
We need to
Is
make
that
it
your
to a
dog?
poster so Withered can put it right
Dude,
above
that
his
cupcake
bed.
has that motherfucking dog in it, dude. You gotta be careful.
For real. I was shocked when the movie came out.
Got that dog in him.
Okay, we are about 10 minutes
Cupcakes
in,
might hear me
which
out.
means it's time to start talking about Midnight Motorist. We did the initial banter. So, I'm gonna do like a little recap, even though
Okay.
none of you need like a recap. I'll just do it for chat because chatter's silly. So, for those of you, which is exactly none of like the 100 of you who are here, for those of you who don't know what Midnight Motorist is, it's a minigame from Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, or FNAF 6, where you buy the Midnight Motorist arcade. There's like a basic racing game, which is playing right now in the background. And if you stick to the bottom on the 4th lap, you'll find a hole and you'll go through it. And I think it's actually going on the screen right now. It was gonna loop and cut and not show the actual thing. But if you stick to the... Yeah, it cut out. But if you stick to the bottom of the screen, you'll unlock a secret minigame called Later That Night. So it's not actually called Midnight Motorist. It's called Later That Night. And you have a purple car, and you're driving down like a lonely forest. And at one point, you can turn off to the like your right to find like a mound in a clearing, or you can keep going, and you can either turn to a bar where the Green Man is standing outside, and he tells you not to go inside.
Oh boy, there it is.
The brain rot begins here.
Where you are standing outside.
Yeah, sure. Literally me. It's like you saw me for real.
Yeah,
Brainrot
it's you.
hasn't begun until I
Tron.
somehow connect this to Mini Rena Egg Theory.
Yeah.
But you have the bar, and he tells you not to
1987.
go inside, and so you kind of just fuck off because you have nothing else to do. Then
He
you go-
basically tells you to fuck off.
Yeah, basically that's what he
Yep.
tells you. And then you can go to your house. I guess that is your house, and it's like blue. Maybe I might bring this up later, but I don't think I will. And when you walk inside, there's a person like in gray sitting on like a chair watching TV, and who tells you to leave him alone tonight. He had a rough day. You move up in the house, and there's a locked door, and you try to open the door, but it's locked, so you can't get in. And so then you decide that you're gonna go out through the outside and find the window or whatever and go in through there. And then when you go there, the window is broken, and there's a pair of footprints, animatronic footprints standing outside, and like human ones leading away. And your character says, ran off to that place again. He'll be sorry when he gets back. No one has any idea what this fucking minigame means. No one.
Yeah, because and this is something I would like to say up front, because I like to bring in, like, we do need to think of these as storytelling things instead of just, corner piece. I mean, you could think of it as a piece of the puzzle where everything is important, but for story reasons, it's the question of, this has to be something that we needed to be shown or told, where if it's just something that's an aside, FNAF doesn't have a lot of extra flavor, or extra character flavor, and if it does, it's very rare, and you get it with, like, Mike and his doodles or something, and it's never, like, its own thing. So, the thing of Midnight Motorist is there is something they are trying to tell us that's important to the story here. What exactly it is, though, is a little up in the air.
So I guess I might counter that simply by saying that a lot of the other minigames, like Foxy Go Go Go, don't seem to really be telling us anything, or if they are,
That's
most
true.
of the community has just said, like, oh, it's symbolic of there being 5 dead kids in the MCI.
Yeah.
And then, like, even in Pizzeria Sim, like,
I mean,
the
I
other
think even
minigames
Foxy
we
Go
get...
Go Go was what a lot of people said was it was because either the kids were distracted with Foxy or killed something relating to Foxy. Connie's perspective of it was always that Foxy was super rare, so if they brought him out, it would draw a huge crowd to see him because he wasn't always there, which would be a huge distraction. This didn't really have a lot of cooperation until the movie, which in the beginning pixel cutscenes, that's just literally what happens. All of the kids are sitting there watching Foxy distracted as he takes the kids one by one. So that might be what Foxy Go 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 means.
Okay. I have something to say
But
about
yeah,
Foxy.
no, I do see your point of there are some things that are a little more vague or just kind of there to be spooby.
I have something to say about Foxy Go Go Go.
Anyway, hold on, sorry. Witherd, I just sent you a video that I made ages ago.
Oh, yeah, I'll get there.
again?
I just want to find a specific image. There we go. There is a very weird detail about Foxy Go Go Go, and I'm going to put the image of it on the stream now. But when you walk into the room of the kids, one of them is frowning.
Get the stream.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Yes,
Fight,
they
fight,
are.
fight.
No, there's only one
Okay, Witherd, can you put it in chat because
I
your
will.
stream hasn't caught up yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't even put it yet.
Fight.
Okay.
Put the.
Boom. I'm going to put it on the
with
stream
the
now. I'm going to put it on the stream now.
times
And I know this has nothing to do with
and it'll
Midnight
reduce
Motorist, but you'll have to
latency.
forgive me, Chad. This is important. I'm going to put this on the stream.
No,
Give
I'm
me a
pulling
second.
up the only
You have any
sprite
thoughts
for
on
this
Midnight
child
Motorist?
right now, and I'm sending it in the chat.
No. There's
Oh,
different
no.
children. There's different children.
Nope.
Shush. Look at this image. I
That
know
is
it's going
the
to take
only
like...
sprite in Foxy Go Go Go.
It's going to look weird.
Witherd, where is that image?
Give it 20 seconds.
Oh, it's in the
It's on stream. It's on the
Okay,
stream.
Oh,
It
it's
is
in.
on
Okay,
stream
it's not in
now.
general. It's in.
I
Yeah.
put it on stream, so you're going to have to give it a little bit.
Why is there just
one?
one? Oh,
Put the playback
Which-
speed up to ×2, and it'll catch up fast.
Yeah.
okay.
Which one are we saying is different?
So
The one on the-
question.
I'm not
the top
hallucinating,
right, the
chat. I'm
bottom-
serious.
Witherd, question. Witherd.
Yeah.
Two things. A, is that a still image? Because the bottom one looks like an in-between frame. In GIF
Yeah.
form, are they doing an animation with their face?
This is an image. I downloaded it as an image. It is not a GIF. It is not a GIF split into a frame. It's not an MP4.
Okay, well,
corrupted.
could you find a GIF or video and see if it's a facial animation that bottom one is like not
Okay.
synced up with the other ones?
'Cause that's
Okay.
definitely
I
what-
love how this Midnight Motor stream is
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
a
because
not
that is
about
what I
Midnight
will say.
Motor.
Currently, that's what it looks like. If not, then I'd say I don't know if it's frowning, but it is something to be brought up that there is that kid might
People-
be
So there's
a
a great
little
thread on
separated,
Reddit where
but
someone posts like all of the files that have been extracted from the first 6 FNAF games, and so I don't currently have it downloaded for FNAF 2, but you could see every single sprite
fucking
that's
awesome.
used in the game.
Oh
There's only
hell yeah!
one
I'm
sprite
gonna
and they're all
want
the
that at
same
some
in
point
here.
just to have.
If you want to look that up for me, go ahead. Maybe this isn't anything. I'm gonna zoom in, just have a look, and so chat can have a look.
Witherd, I already sent it in the chat. I already sent it in our chat.
Oh, I'm on Do Not Disturb, so I don't see the notification.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, basically question they all have the same
You
sprite.
might
then?
be right.
Yeah, they all have the
You
same
might
sprite.
be
There's
right,
only
and it
one
might be the
sprite.
CRT lines.
I'm guessing it's an animation thing then.
Yeah, I
It
think it's
is
the CRT lines from the
lines.
minigame.
It is.
It's the C. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
was thinking, yeah, if they all have the same sprite, then there wasn't anything made to differentiate one of the kids.
Yeah,
I
no,
have
it's
all
in
the
the
minigame
voice
screen
channel chat.
recorded.
Oh wait.
I have all the minigame screen recorded for me.
Yeah, give me a second. I just want
Do the scan lines move at all during the? I forget.
Scan lines, I don't think they tend to move.
No, I don't think
Then
they
it
move.
might not help. Never mind.
I'm gonna put the sprite on
But yeah, if they all share a sprite, then and there's nothing in engine that would be able to change it, then it's probably just the same sprite.
Fine. Okay. So maybe I hallucinated a little
Okay, the
bit, but it
black
does
lines
look
don't
like
move,
it's
but the
frowning.
gray
In my
ones do.
defense, it does look like it's frowning. This is the base one that all the other kids have, and the scan
It
lines.
does.
Kinda.
I definitely see.
Doug,
that
you know
makes
what?
a
This
difference.
whatever. I see. I'm gonna be like we could all have our own view. It's a
Look at
square
him.
box. If
He's
anything,
so
I think
happy.
it looks neutral. Yeah. If anything, it could look neutral. It depends on who you are. This is never gonna be the unused picture drawing from Into the Pit that went unused probably for various reasons, where there is a girl with blonde pigtails, and yet the pigtails are a single line, and everyone's like, oh, she has black hair, when the back of her head is colored in yellow, and the other kid, and all of the other kids, that's how they work, and that's not how the skin tone works, because they use skin tone for the rest of her body, so why, if she had like a bald head, Connie's not here to defend herself. I'm gonna roast her for this. I don't know what the fuck she was seeing in that drawing to think that girl had black hair. They very clearly made her have See, here's the thing. The bigger question is, why did the person who made that little drawing have two blonde-haired girls? I don't know what they were thinking with that. I don't know why there are two Susies there, but you know what? Whatever. We can have two Susies.
Yeah, we can have two kids who claim to be the first.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
See, that's the real. That's the real.
Henry completes the trifecta.
How they fucking said that you can't trust any little details in the Fazbear Fright series and whatnot because the creators have said that like Scott doesn't give them all the details. It's not. But listen. Susie has brown hair and coming home. It's not because Scott just forgot to tell them. It's because there are two Susies.
You know what?
That's crazy.
Makes sense to me.
Two Susies,
Yep,
dual Susie theory, dual Susie theory, on the arm.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Dual
a
Susie
fan in.
theory.
There's going to be a fan in Susie that takes over the entire fandom, and no one will talk about anything else, even though there's no proof for her existence, that stands on its own two legs and can be easily, that kind.
Coming
we can make something out of this.
Is the main reason why I'm Stitchline and not Frights games, aside from Fazgoo and Kids at Play. Because it just doesn't line up with the
We considered Susie Emily.
Susie
Emily. No.
It's like
It's the word first inflicted on him.
It's like pink guy.
Candy
purple
pops
guy
into the
from,
stream,
FNAF.
says nothing except for
Blonde
Susie Emily, and that's it. Tuesday
the real
Theory.
Sammy?
Not yet undead.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay, wait, y'all, wait, no,
Susie boss.
shut up. I think her younger sister was named Samantha,
Yes.
which would make her Sammy.
Oh! No way.
That is.
Oh my god.
We're treading dangerous waters right now.
Susie Emily. Susie Emily.
All right, so are you ready to make Twitter angry?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yep. Tuesday Theory, brown-haired Susie is the game's version of Sammy.
Crackhead Theory
That's it.
Part 2. Here you come.
Wait.
I love crackhead theories, man.
I have a theory.
FNAF is such a big playground, you can make anything.
Hear me out. Henry Emily
Go off.
has several children. Charlie,
Debatable.
Susie, and Samantha. Sammy is gender swapped to the
Sammy
games because
Mother.
we've seen that happen before, I guess, on rare occasion.
We have?
It's not Cassidy that I'm talking about, by the way. It's Andrews in the games, and he's very powerful. Just like Eleanor. But I don't believe what I'm saying, by the way. I'm just saying it's an interesting
Dangerous
thought.
waters are being treaded right now.
It's an interesting thought to entertain.
Yo, brown-haired Susie might just be like Shadow Susie.
She's
Oh my God.
I am the fearful reflection of the Susies.
Oh, I think we're treading dangerous waters here. A different type of dangerous
I think we should talk about. I think we should talk about Midnight Motorist.
I was about to say, yeah, we're talking about Susie.
you guys ready to hate this more? Because now we're going to talk about our favorite minigame.
Yeah, Susie is the Mount in Midnight Motorist.
I hate my rotten Midnight Motorist.
Susie, no, guys, we don't know that it's William Afton driving the car. What if it was Susie?
I will fist fight
Underage driving.
everyone in this room. If
Orange
you think that.
Susie?
Orange Susie.
Susie is the driver.
She's
Susie
just like
is the
big.
driver in Midnight
She's just a
Motorist.
big girl, okay? Like she can fist fight the guy on the couch. She's fine. She can do that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Golden
Henry
Susie,
built progressively older looking Susie robots, and the
my
adult
God.
Susie is Orange Guy.
No, no, we are not doing Susie bot. It's the parallels.
Listen, you can't blame us for bringing Susie into this. She's our only universal constant. She's all we know.
Yeah.
She's all we have.
What if Susie is chair guy?
No,
Damn.
chair guy is definitely the 17th Jeremy.
Okay, let's
No,
go
it's
to Midnight
definitely
Motorist.
Susie.
We're already kind of on Midnight Motorist, but I don't want to talk about 2Z Theory anymore because chat's getting pissed at me for not talking about Midnight Motorist.
3Z.
Okay.
So-
the chat wants to hear about Midnight
Yeah,
Motorist?
which is crazy because, like, why do you want this? Are you, like, masochist? I didn't know I was raising a community of masochists. Like, Jesus Christ.
They're not masochists. They just want to see how
As
far
long
they can
as you
take it.
don't bring 14 into the Midnight
Oh, they're
Motorist debate, I'll
sadists.
be fine.
Oh, they're not masochists, they're sadists. They want to see
like,
us
listen,
suffer.
listen, chat.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Chat, you've heard of Red Room streams. This is about to be the Purple Room stream. So it's gonna get wild.
Oh, no.
Well, there are 7 trees
That's
surrounding the
less illegal.
mound.
No way.
Pull it up, pull it up. Pull it up.
Specifically?
Pull it up.
Show it
Hold
up.
up.
I'm gonna go in screen share mode. We are...
There's
Hold on,
14 cars in Midnight
But
Motorist.
actually show
Wait,
the
wait.
Discord this time and not just the stream.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna share my screen, and sorry, because I'm too lazy to do that, but... I'm going to put
That's
it on
fine.
stream just so chat can see, because there's like
Yeah,
100...
I know.
there's
at least
130
for
people I have to
me,
appease,
the
okay?
stream takes long enough that it's
Yeah,
not
I'm
gonna be
sorry, it's just a
relevant
thing.
by the
So
time-
I did. I downloaded all the FNAF 2 textures and found there is only one kid animation in that. But I am also going to download all the FNAF 6 ones in case we have a question and we want like the official stuff
Video.
extracted from the game.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you,
I just
Fodder, you're the
Yeah.
goat.
Say
There's
something real
definitely
quick
more
about
than
juniors.
7 trees
I do
around,
want to
by
say
the way.
something
Why
about
are you taking so long to load?
juniors real quick. Hold on. There's 5 cars, 5 trees that when you pull in that adds a 6th car. Does it mean anything?
Ooh.
Probably not. But
Or
something to
again,
point
here's-
out.
And sometimes I wonder if using Freddy's, it's like how 3 and 12 number. What if we make this 5? Because, Five Nights Freddy.
Hold on, I'm
I opened the video, but only for like a little bit, and I counted the trees, and there do appear to be 7. I can open it again.
Wait.
I was just worried that my stream was lagging because I heard Corey cut out a little bit there. No, that's you. Okay,
I don't know, that could have just
I'm
been
good. I'm
me.
good. I'm good. I don't
I
have to
have
worry.
to put something in the
Shut
VC
up,
chat.
buddy.
I have to put something very important in the VC chat.
Go
and,
ahead.
Yeah,
I need you and
Devin-
Wait, are you actually?
What happened?
Hey, Wizard. I have a very Hey, Wizard, I have a very important question for you.
Yeah,
Wizard?
yeah.
Withered.
I have a very
They've
important
withered.
question.
Am I withering?
Hey, did you ever learn how to count, bud?
Wait,
Yeah.
I looked quick, okay, and
see
I
3
was
trees
afraid my
off the
bitrate
side
was
there.
tanking, okay.
Don't worry about those.
Don't worry about this. Okay, yeah, let's ignore the evidence.
There's
You'll
a
just
4th
crop
one on
those
the
out.
side.
Yeah, it's more
towards the
than
top.
7, bud.
No,
There's
no,
a
like
fourth one
around,
off
like
the top,
directly
it's
around, not
sorry,
like
but
the
that's neither
shit
here
ton
nor
of
there.
trees like in the back.
Who
Damn.
expects us to count in FNAF?
I
That
never.
doesn't make any sense.
I'll be honest, guys. I've never.
See,
I never
even
graduated
with
kindergarten.
You saying
Okay.
directly around, I have no idea what trees you're talking about. To the point where if you circled what trees you were talking about, you would be reaching in any way.
No.
I'm
No.
still putting this in the video for fun.
I am
this is
going.
bad.
I am going to
Hold
prove
on.
to you. I'm going to prove to you that I'm not insane. Oh my god, there's way more than 7. Fuck.
Oh, you withering?
He's good.
I am going to dies.
Yeah, Wither just died. We told you it was a Purple Room stream. I've
No,
hired
I'm back. I'm
assassins.
back. I'm
Each
not
one of you
dead.
should
I was
start
just. I
running.
just went dead quiet because I realized how
I'm home
stupid
alone.
I was.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
14
Ain't no
is
way
how we
there's
feeling.
14 trees.
14
Ain't
is
no
how
way.
we feeling.
You guys counted. Send me.
No.
Send the image on
Count
VC
it.
Flex.
Is this real?
14!
Send the image.
Chat,
Send the
is
image.
this real?
It's in
Put it on
general
the-
chat
on
of
the
the
screen.
server. It's in general chat of this server.
Oh
Wither.
my god.
14
Send
is
the
how we
raw
feeling.
image. I don't want to kill my bandwidth. I'm sorry.
Okay, one sec.
Okay, but y'all realize that
My bandwidth is back,
if
guys.
you bring 14ers
we're
into
back.
this, I'm gonna start being annoying.
We are at 30% CPU
Y'all realize if
usage.
you
Okay,
bring
we're
Golden Freddy equals
fine.
14 into this, I'm gonna start being annoying. Because you know whose grave I think that is?
Whose grave you think that is?
Whose grave do
Susie.
you think I think it is? It's not Susie.
Susie's dog. Susie's dog.
It's Susie.
I'm
It's
calling
Susie.
it Susie's dog.
Oh fuck.
I don't think so.
Listen,
Okay.
at this point, if we find out that Susie's dog was the one you should not have killed or whatever, I'll accept it.
I'll lose
just
my
take it at this
goddamn
point.
mind.
I've seen the
His name
movie.
is Andrew.
I've seen the movie.
It would make Fetch make sense.
Oh my god.
If Andrew is the dog and just manifested as a like human conscious or something.
What?
That would be so funny. Honestly,
Alright.
there's
Oh,
crazier
by
shit
the way,
happening.
Pat Plays, who's in my chat, shut the hell up. I literally do not care. Like, I do not care.
What's going on in there?
They are not. Sure, they are guests on my stream, but I like to think that these are all my friends, and I can interrupt them every so often. I do not mean to, and I do not want to interrupt what they're saying.
Oh no, you can interrupt me all you want because I'm an interrupt.
Yeah.
There we go.
motherfucker.
Peek is
Like,
on
I don't want to
screen.
interrupt
Yeah,
anyone
Peek is on
here.
screen.
I don't want to
14
interrupt
trees.
anyone here because I like respect everyone. But I just want to get it out there that like you do not get to tell me what to do. I'm sorry. Yes, there are 14
We're
trees.
here for fun.
Yeah,
It's
no,
his
we're here for
birthday, let
fun.
him be
You're good,
mean.
Pat
Speaking
Plays.
of
Don't worry.
fun,
Don't worry
let's
about it.
talk about there being 14 trees.
14 trees. Dude, count them. Count them.
Oh,
One-
they said sorry.
No, you're good, Pat Plays. Don't worry. Don't
14
worry.
trees.
1, 2, 3,
Now,
4, 5,
now
6.
some of you in chat might notice those 3 trees off on the side and that 1 tree in the top right. And to those I have to say, don't worry about them.
Just crop it out.
Don't
it'll be
worry
fine.
Can we even prove that those are trees?
Yeah, you
Like, how do
can't
we
see
know?
the whole thing, so for all you know, those couldn't be trees.
Could be
Raven.
anything.
Those are
Raven.
trees.
I mean, honestly, none of
No.
these. Hey, none of these trees could be trees because hold on, we gotta use the usual. We gotta do the usual theorist mindset. What if none of these are trees because they're stumps? They're gray. They're not brown. All of these trees are metal.
They're
this is a
robots.
fucking fake metal fucking forest made by William Afton to do whatever the fuck with a bar that kicks him out.
It's the
It's
tree
all like the
experiments.
Lorax.
Hey,
It's the fucking Lorax.
Speaks for
hey,
the
hey,
tree.
Withered.
Yeah.
What did you say your peak viewer count was?
Ever like 50. Thank you for the 130 people here. I appreciate it. Raven. Crashmaster paid me
Might have broken
$2.
that a little bit.
Crashmaster paid me $2 for
Go
you to
check
look
out
at your
14
Discord
Theory.
DMs. Crash, I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you for
Raven,
giving me
go
money for basic
Okay, I'm
human
looking.
things. I love you. Thank you.
Okay, so here, Wither, do you just want me to tell you pretty much what it is?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Cypher?
Oh yeah, Cypher was DMing me too.
Oh,
I don't know
damn,
if you wanted
Oh, I
to-
might have fucked up. I forgot to invite Cypher to the server, didn't I?
Oh.
Sorry, Cypher. I'm gonna invite
I?
you.
Also, you may
Oh,
or
I
may
got a
not. I
DM.
don't know if you sent it to a group chat with me and Connie, or if you just sent it to me.
I sent it to you both separately.
Uh oh. Okay. Hey,
Anyone else hear
this
the
is a
Matrix
problem.
on
It's because
Whose
now
kitty's that?
it's mine. It's her dinner time.
Okay,
Oh,
what's
that's
her
what the
name?
Matrix noise is for.
You want to tell him about Midnight Motorist?
What's the
Hmm?
kitty's name?
Inky.
That's a good name.
Was Cypher just that fast?
She
Thank you,
really
Cypher.
wants.
Cypher, I'm so sorry. I literally just
She's
forgot,
very
and I was on Do
opinionated.
Not Disturb, so I didn't see
Yeah,
your
she has
message.
a lot of thoughts about Midnight Motorist. Do you have a lot of thoughts on Midnight Motorist?
There's 14 trees.
Hell yeah.
She has things to say.
Yeah, she thinks there's 14 trees.
She's saying 2Z theory? Is that what?
Oh, she agrees with Tuesday.
Hmm.
It's 14 theory canon.
Yes.
No.
Now once for you.
Oh.
Let me out the episode. Ooh.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh, that's enough. No more.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want food?
Let's.
I
I
know, you
need
want food.
to. I feel like I need to direct this conversation back on course because we started talking about animatronic trees, which is totally making it into the edited version of this video, by the way.
It's obviously
Isn't
the
that-
trees
isn't
from
that
Lord of the
Shipman
Rings.
thing?
Well, look. Let's
Wait, what? What's in the what now?
let's go back to
Are
reality.
you
Trees from
implying
Lord
that
of the
in the
Rings.
Lord of the Rings it's animatronic trees? That's crazy.
No, Chip and Sons. Lord of the Rings have normal
Oh.
trees. They walk and talk, though. They're not normal. They walk and talk. Well, trees walk and talk for me. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, for me. Sometimes
Yeah.
I look outside, they just start moving around. They start doing a little jig.
Yeah.
They talk sometimes.
Yeah, they start hitting the gritty outside my window.
Yeah.
I start tossing money at them. They just start dancing. I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, that's kind of sick. Money's made from
Yeah,
paper, which is made from trees.
throwing money at trees, you're a sick fuck.
You're just throwing their own
That's
corpses at them.
disgusting.
Oh, hold up. Wait a
Oh.
minute.
Choose your family.
Okay,
It's like
let's steer the conversation back
fingernails
on
at
back on
someone.
course because we've been yapping
Okay.
about like
Happy
just complete
birthday,
bullshit
by
for
the
30
way.
minutes.
All
So
right, let's steer it like a car.
let's like a
Back on
midnight
track.
motor car.
Yes.
Like
that's
David being hit by a car.
There is a car.
Yeah, by William Afton. I've said
$82.
best crack theory. Every person in FNAF who's gotten hit by a car was hit by William Afton while drunk driving. You're not a true Utah citizen
And
until you
when?
get hit by William Afton.
If I move to Utah
Or
right
what if
now,
David?
will he materialize?
Well, he's already dead, so it's too late.
So I'll never be a part of Utah.
No, you're just gonna have to go to the mountains, and the altitude will make you gay.
What if David was hit by William Afton?
Is this the
Everyone.
real Vanessa from the movie? I'm a
Yeah.
big fan.
Big
Did it
fan.
hurt getting stabbed? Like by your dad?
Yeah,
Sucks.
I'm a big
totally,
fan.
guys.
I'm a big fan.
Okay, let's start from the top. Let's steer this
Map now.
conversation to this like
Okay.
the source in
Alright.
terms of like
Okay.
serious conversation because we'll
Yes.
fuck around, okay?
Start
Like
us
I
off.
don't care. It's fun. What do we think the mound of dirt is when we turn to the left, like the right or whatever?
Cry child's grave.
14
Yeah.
Yes, crying
If-
child's
okay.
grave. It
It's
has
one
to
of
be.
two things. If it's not a grave, it is like the entrance to the sister
So
location.
people
bunker.
keep saying
Yeah.
that, and I do.
What if-
I maybe can agree, but also I've never seen a bunker or opening to anything like that that's just been a pile of dirt. Because if it's a
think-
hole, then it would be like you would see a hole.
I think this goes
Would-
back to an old MatPat video. I think he said that they were like starting to dig out the sister location bunker. I
That was
might be
probably the
misremembering that.
idea.
Yeah.
It also
Um,
depends on when this is.
I do
and
want to say
again,
could
you
be
do have,
all
but you
work
do
right
have
now,
to ask
reasoning.
again because so little is shown to us. And I will I will harp on people forever for this, like how in FNAF 4 the like little secret trailer shows 1983, and people were like, "Well, it could be a air. This could be later." Well, yeah, but the previous thing had like 5 pixels to represent Chica, so
Wizard, you
clearly,
have
if
an
he's going
outline?
to go through the trouble of putting 1983 on screen, it means we're in
Your
1983. You
screen's
know.
off.
So you
What
gotta
would
question.
you
You
like
gotta
to
you
hear
gotta
more?
ask the question.
Look at your
Why
screen's like a little
Did
off
he go
center.
through the extra effort
Wait, what do you mean?
of
What do you mean
adding
the stream is
this
off center?
screen with the pile of dirt?
Yeah, with
Like,
Scott, it's
check out
like he
off
adds
center.
things,
It's
he
off
intends it
center.
to be obvious.
I don't hear anything. What's
Yeah.
going on? I
It's
hate off
off
center.
center.
Why can you have this path
Lord.
that leads to the pile
Okay,
of
whatever.
dirt? Because it doesn't have
Well-
anything to do with how the beat
Would-
mini
What
game.
about okay?
You could say the same about juniors as well. Of like, what there's something important enough about this area that he like, structured it out. Of like, hey,
I
look,
I
there's
will
a pile
say-
of dirt here.
It's not just a
Mhm.
pile of dirt. The patch of ground around the pile of dirt is also discolored compared to the ground. So if we're saying the
Yeah.
pile of dirt is important, then why is the patch of ground being a different color there?
I will also say
Being
because Connie
excavated.
pointed out with the pile of dirt they have in
5 laps.
5 laps.
It's
There
huge.
is
There's
a
mountain.
there
It's
is a
much bigger.
small
However-
similar to the game. There's kind of a small path leading there, and it seems like a small dirt path that would like
Yep.
lead to something. But also, Connie pointed out it could be one of those man-made paths if someone walked that path enough to make an indent. You know what? There's a specific term for it. Of like someone's walked this path back and forth enough that if there's just an indent. And Connie was saying it could have.
I have a
The
reasoning.
path could well be that.
I have a reasoning for it being Bite Victim's grave. Because think about it. If Mike is the runaway, if we're going by Mike Runaway,
Hmm.
I have this idea that he's going back to that place, but that one night he just didn't go there. And I heavily think
Mm.
that was the place that he was going to nightly. Because from what I was told, you have to find the mound, right?
Yeah.
It is a place that you have to find. So idea is this is where he was supposed to go, but he was probably led to another place by maybe Shadow
Mm.
Freddy or Golden Freddy
Okay.
that night.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing,
So,
though.
okay,
I mean, I
Yeah,
could, I
that's-
could
seems a good idea.
see it. I
I
mean,
have a-
either way, he was in trouble when he got back. But we'll
I have a
see.
question
Yeah.
for the people
Yeesh.
who believe that like whoever the runaway is was like Lord here, that this is like the place that he went again, which would be if canonically Orange Guy walks over here, sees the mound, sees the patch, and then goes home, sees the sun's broken window, and then says, "Oh, he probably went to that place again." Wasn't he just there like 3 minutes ago?
I
That's a
Getting
problem.
Why would he
Is there a
Okay,
way for
okay.
Scott to tell us what the place is naturally besides us
True.
just walking up on
I'm
it?
gonna say
Yeah, that's true.
that the area is bigger than we see. I mean, you can even tell that with the house. It is a drive to get there. Even though he was just there, there's also a lot of woods. It's not impossible that he's on his way over. You know?
Yeah.
It's frustrating timing wise, but like yeah.
It could be
I have-
interesting timing wise, but he could be making his way over as he was driving. You know, they Scooby Dooed it a little bit. It happens.
I have more to go with this. So,
Go
you
on.
know, apparently what I was told is bite victim died at the house. And that they probably like covered up his like
It's
death
arguable.
in the forest.
Yeah, it's a
I
possibility.
mean, I think there's other reasons they covered up his death, but you'll know them.
Yeah.
yes.
What was that so ominous?
You've
Look,
I'm
seen
scared.
I
Who hasn't seen
disagree
it? That was
heavily.
I think the motherfucker got spring locked so they couldn't do anything else with the body parts. Might as well put him somewhere and dig him in the dirt. Because that motherfucker's body
Oh,
got
hi, Ozone.
decimated.
Thanks for popping in.
Raspberry Entertainment would
Ozone.
do anything.
Ozone.
Wait,
Hello.
Ohio?
Ozone.
Ohio? I'm from there.
Ozone.
Unwithered's
Ohio.
also here.
Ozone only speaks the truth. Green guy is William, so I want to hear that theory.
It's only
Ozone, what are your
confirmed
Do you
thoughts
want to
on
hear the
14
Green
theory?
Afton
Anyways.
Gospel?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right, children. It's time for a bedtime story. I'm going to tell you all the Green Afton evidence.
Oh, goody.
Let me get my plushie.
Yeah. Get your blankies.
all cozy
in bed. Are you
I have a wooden chair. I can't be
Are you gonna tuck
comfortable.
me in?
Chat,
Are you gonna tuck me in?
prepare. It's Green Afton
Are you gonna
time.
tuck me in?
Sure.
If you don't tuck
Oh,
me in,
no.
the animatronics will come and eat my ass.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, beat my ass. Beat my ass.
Wait,
Beat my ass. Beat my ass.
Wait,
Hold
whoa.
I don't think that's coming back
What
from that.
did you
POV Joy of Creation gameplay.
Beat my ass.
Okay.
There
That's
was a
different
misunderstanding.
FNAF 4.
It's all good. Okay. So Green Afton.
I lost one letter.
So Green
I
Afton,
lost
am I
the letter
right?
B.
Okay. Okay. I'll get
Oh,
started.
chat just caught up. No. No, chat.
All right, so
Yeah.
remind me. Green guy is the bouncer outside of Juniors, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me
So you
explain
go
what
to
I
him-
mean by this.
Yeah.
So the theory goes that this theory was made before 5 Laps at Freddy's, where it was more ambiguous whether the driver, like the pilot of the car, was William Afton. So back then it could have been anyone, really. Like, sure, you've got the purple car, but that's about it. So basically it like came down to, we don't know what this minigame is about, and we don't know like why this
that's
kid is
true.
just gone. And we see a pair of footprints outside. They have like 3 toes and they're quite long. And there is nothing else.
Yeah.
There's a broken window, and it does look like he's gone somewhere, but he's gone somewhere because of someone else. And so
I will say something I want to add real quick. From what I remember of Midnight Motorist, can't you see the glass shards outside
you
the
can.
window?
You
can.
cannot.
No.
Oh wait,
There's
no,
no
you
glass
can't.
shards?
You can't. Yeah,
There
you
are-
can't,
there
but
is
you
no
can see the
glass.
glass
Well,
being
because you
broken.
can't go inside the room.
Yeah,
So
you-
I will say again, with the limited amount of pixels given, one of the few details given is that the glass is outside the window. Now, as someone who has done any murder mystery thing ever, that means that whoever was inside broke the window. And
no, there's no
that
glass.
I think
So-
The glass is
Yeah.
not outside. The
There's no
glass
glass.
is not
I
outside.
messed
there's
up.
no glass.
was-
No, there's no glass.
yeah.
There is no
No.
glass. No, it is not there.
There's no
I've-
glass. Exactly.
It was broken in.
It has
Okay.
bothered me for years.
I think that is, I mean, okay, that maybe it's not important then because like that, you know, but also because no glass, no, because if there was glass outside, that would mean okay, definitely whoever was inside broke it. But if there's no glass, that could mean either
Yeah, it
they
could
didn't
mean
care enough to put in that extra detail,
Which
or
sucks.
like there would be no way to see
Yeah.
it.
It kind of depends on how the glass was broken. You can actually go on YouTube and watch people. If you hit it like a pane of glass with like a lead pipe or something, the glass actually ends up on the inside because of how
Can
like
I?
physics works. So it's
Can I
like
bring up a logistics question real quick?
sure.
Can I
If the,
play something?
if the glass was being broken from the inside, Why didn't they just like open the window?
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
that's
the-
why I'm
Can I
not.
point something out?
Although
This-
the point
The
was
soft-
the door was locked, and there was very much. It's not obviously not a great household. It's not impossible that either the windows can't open because they're not those type of windows, or William Afton
crap!
made
I
sure
just
they
realized
wouldn't.
something.
Because he
Can
was
I
trying to
point
stop
something
him
out?
from running away, so he
Hear me
could have very well fucking glued
This
him.
is this is worth bringing up.
Yeah.
In Into the Pit, when you're
Mhm.
trapped in your house and you have to escape after like each day.
Yeah, one of them's through the window.
Yeah, one of the exits is through the window. And like
You know-
I say, we generally agree that Pit Bonnie has something to do with Afton. It's not Afton, but it's something to do with him somewhere there, like his agony maybe or
Yes.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What if
Yeah.
the reason we see the window boarded up after we try to escape it is because the window in Midnight Motorist was actually boarded up, because that's the thing William has done. He's boarded up a window. So he couldn't open the window.
Oh.
He had to, like, the kid had to break it from the outside in and like
Yeah.
remove the boards. And the reason we don't see any glass is because it like fell on the inside
As-
from the kicking.
How
I
strong
have
is
As
something
this
someone,
to
kid?
okay, I
offer.
will say, as someone who is currently in a room with that situation, there are tools you can get to like glue windows shut. My current dorm situation are, I believe, probably all, if not most, of the room's windows in here are like that because last year we had an ant problem. And they couldn't figure it out with ant killer, so they just glued our window shut, which is fine for me because I'm not opening it because we don't have a fire guard, or because we don't have one of those like veil things because that's a fire safety hazard, and I can't open it because then my cat could jump out the window. She wouldn't, but I don't want her to try.
have
But yeah,
something to
basically,
go off of
there
it.
are things you can get to like glue windows shut.
Okay,
Cypher,
that's
go
worth
on.
considering. I just wanted to
Did
say
you
that it's
know-
specifically boarded up. Oh, Cypher, go ahead.
Oh, so did you know that this song in Midnight Motorist is called Smashing Windshields?
Yes,
Yep.
Yes.
that's why I sent that
Which
video in
adds up
general
to the
chat. It's a short one. It's something I made. Actually, I think for our first video, just as a bit, because I edited that video before our first post because it ended up in the video, just really in the background. I don't know if anyone noticed it, but it was just a quick meme video. Hold on,
It's so
I am gonna
interesting,
pull
though.
up.
Wait,
Huh?
Why
I
is it
actually just realized
specifically
I was talking
called
about Green Afton.
Smashing
So if you
Windshields?
don't mind, I'll finish that explanation. I'll make it quick.
It's probably I
Yes,
think what
Green
people think
Afton.
it's some kind of reference to
Let me
Getting drunk.
green this
Let
Afton
me hear
real
about
quick.
Green Afton.
So my reasoning is, continuing where I left off, is that we don't see anything else. It's just a kid who disappeared, who left for some reason, and something made him leave. There is no other human character who could feasibly do this, who could wear a suit and lure him out. There is no other presence. There is no shadow. There's nothing except for Green Guy. And if you look at the minigame map,
oh my god.
the bar is like directly above the house, because like you can turn to the side, and then when you go to your house, you turn back, go forward, and then turn to the same side again. So it's like it forms like a shape where if the kid was lured up,
Yeah.
which is where we see the footsteps go, it
Yeah,
ends
it's the
up
same.
at
It's the same
Junior's.
route to
Correct.
Fredbear's.
Yeah, it ends up at Junior's. And so the reasoning goes, since it's the same route to Fredbear's, this is Fredbear's closed down. Because if you, the walls of Junior's, if you invert the image of Junior's and Green Guy, not only does Green Guy become purple,
Oh, never mind.
but the wall of Junior's becomes the same color as the FNAF 4 Fredbear's wall in the minigames.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It
I do want to
does.
say something. So
See, I was gonna say, fun fact, as far as like, I don't know if it's just like Scott has certain colors that he picks for some of these pixel mini games, but I was gonna say the color of Junior's, like as the restaurant, is the same color and general shape as the show stage in Fredbear's and FNAF 4, which I just think is fun. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but I think
Raven,
it's a
go
fun
ahead. You were
thing.
gonna say
Yeah.
something.
I made a theory. You saw where it was that shadow one, but I have a new interpretation of it.
Okay.
Basically, I said that like Juniors would have been like Fredbear's / 1985 MCI location. What Michael would have saw if he was, lured there would have been the spirits of the MCI, and what would have lured him there would have been Shadow Freddy trying to basically get some form of revenge on him, because Shadow Freddy had some like crying child aspect to him.
I discovered something today.
What's up?
So I was reading the Twisted Ones.
Oh no.
God, this is a good
Oh, I'm
start.
And they're
Sorry.
following
Yeah.
a
Oh!
Shadow Freddy in the forest.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
Shadow-
never seen this one.
Shadow Freddy leads them. So Charlie got like
I
snatched
believe
by.
this is this
twisted
also
animatronic.
is this also the same book where Charlie gets put in the box in the trunk that looks so much
That's
like
the
the
next
fucking
book.
box?
No,
That's
that's
the next
yeah.
book.
That's the next one. Okay, I
No,
get the
that's
book
the next
titles
book.
confused.
So this
But that
one,
also does happen.
Charlie.
It's so
Charlie's
weird,
in
though.
her childhood home, and a twisted animatronic comes, and she basically like lets it eat her, like in its stomach, and it takes her
Yeah.
to Freddy's.
Not
and
child
Yeah.
home. It's a show home. It's a fake home.
Then, yeah, but it's where Henry's workshop was? Question mark. Am I misremembering that?
No, the underground facility was underneath Charlie's childhood home. She was
Yeah,
taken
because
from
in
a
that
fake
book,
show house.
William Afton
Yeah.
dug a fucking
I know these
tunnel
books.
between
It's
his
very-
house and
It was
Henry's.
destroyed
Yes,
by
half
a
of it was
storm or
destroyed.
something.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
never forget how in those books William Afton dug on his own a fucking tunnel in between his house and Henry's. First of all, we've seen those weirdos on TikTok. That stuff is
That's
crazy to do on your own. Second of all, I think it's funny because he's really getting into character as a rabbit.
Oh,
Yeah,
He
actually,
is.
that's how you know
you could even
Method
say
Wait, do we know
acting
what-
to
you could
the
even say he's
extreme.
become Mr. Burrows.
he has an obsession.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wait, do we know it's
He has
from William's
obsession.
house? Do we
I
ever
put
see
the image
William's
of the
house?
Green Afton inversion evidence
Oh,
on
no, we
screen, by the
don't.
way.
I don't know if it was from his
Unless you
house,
wanna
but he
say-
dug a
Okay.
tunnel into Henry's.
D-
That
is
I
this-
don't
it's
think Henry
underneath
ever knew
Henry's
about.
the thing.
Is this inverting the
Yeah.
whole picture? Like, if you invert Orange Guy, what color does he turn?
Oh, hold up. Can you say that
Probably
again?
knowing my knowledge of colors, probably a purple.
If you
a
invert
purple.
Orange Guy and his purple car, what colors would they turn? Like, if the
I
entire
believe, if
screenshot
I
was
recall
inverted.
correctly, Orange Guy turns
The
blue.
inverted color of orange is blue.
He turns blue. And what was going on
And
when I made
Yeah,
this theory?
Purple,
Orange is
purple
blue.
yellow.
Hear me out. What was
Mhm.
going through my head at this moment was I was seeing people say that because
Wait, how did
orange
it invert to
be-
make
be-
him purple?
I was saying that because orange is on the opposite side of the color spectrum of purple. I was like, okay, what happens if I just invert the color? If I just invert the like color hex code, whatever. What'll
Yeah.
happen if I do that? And by some ridiculous chance, I managed to grab an image of Yellow Guy right outside Junior's. So I inverted the image. I'm like, oh, he's blue. That doesn't check out. I guess inversion doesn't work the same as the color spectrum, which it doesn't. And then I looked to the left and I saw that
Yeah.
the Green Man had
I
become
think it's
purple and
weird.
that Junior's had become the same color as Fredbear's. And so then I noticed that something was up. So I made that whole video about it. It made like 13k views, which was good by standards then. And Ozone reacted
Yeah,
to
but
it.
here's the
and it
question,
really
Withered. If
made
that
sense.
guy, then who is then who was Carr?
The purple car.
The car.
Then who was Carr?
Yeah.
Oh, I talked about
Well,
this in
Lightning
the video
McQueen.
where I proposed two options.
Which
Where it was either Gabriel MM or Andrew MM. Exactly. Hey, Kitty, I agree.
What?
So allow me to explain because this is gonna need so much explanation. I will. What do you mean link the video? Fake fan. Go to my channel and look up a Midnight Motorist. It's one of two videos on my channel about Midnight Motorist. One of them is about Shadow Bonnie and the other is Green Afton. As I was saying,
Shout out to them.
Gabriel MM for me comes from so in Help Wanted, the last minigame is Pizza Party. And you start out
Pizza
in
Party.
a house
Mhm.
and you are lured by Glitchtrap to a back room at Freddy's and stuffed into Freddy Fazbear, specifically Freddy Fazbear. That's Gabriel. And Gabriel's being lured out of his house by a man in a yellow bunny suit and he follows him to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza where he stuffs him. That's Gabriel MM. Put simply, there's more
I will
evidence.
say, I will. See, again, I don't know what this would add, but I will say, according to Grave Order, which apparently is
With
know,
the help wanted to grave
contestable.
order.
yes,
Oh,
before
I have
Golden
no
Freddy
evidence
and
there.
Puppet. Actually, wait, no, Gabriel isn't the last one because the last
not.
one's Jeremy. Never
You
mind
know-
then.
Gabriel MM was such a peak theory. And just
I never got into it. It was
Wait,
not-
I just came to the
it's
realization
the question of
about
why
Gabriel,
are
man.
we being told this? Like, what is important about this?
Okay.
Why
You know?
why were we told that Susie was in
From-
Pretty Maze?
Oh, yeah.
For me, the Gabriel Midnight Motorist was pretty much just to reinforce how calculated the MCI was at the time, with in my interpretation was like, hey, Afton is watching these kids, waiting for the right moments to get them all on the same day, seeing if there's certain kids that are going to Freddy's consistently. That was my intention, because he would be matching up the kids with the suits, and then eventually with Cassidy or like whoever you think is the last spirit. I know for you, Golden Freddy's different, but Golden Freddy would be the random one, and that's why it would be a mismatched gender. That was my interpretation back with my Fredbear Plush video timeline whole thing. Obviously, I don't believe Gabriel Midnight Motorist anymore, but that was my explanation at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I also think it just makes the story more compelling if we sort of get this weird little vignette about one of the MCI kids' home life.
Yeah, the
Right, like, we
most
see
we ever
the
got was coming
people-
home,
That
and
can
even
make
that
sense.
was kind of not
The
fitting.
people that William's targeting, it's like, okay, this kid has an abusive father who's driving around at high speeds, getting drunk, comes home, wants to beat his son, and his son ran away to the one place that, like, he had fun at, which would be Freddy's.
Which I will say, but again, here's the question:
Yeah.
is why would he be being led to Juniors?
Because
And-
Who
William
says he's
kills
being
him there.
led to Juniors?
Juniors
and
is
why-
the Fredbear's build, not kills him there. William takes him to Juniors, and Juniors used to be Fredbear's, which is where the
Yeah.
Spring Bonnie suit would be stored at that time. It's complicated. Back then, I didn't have the same understanding that I do now. I know
Mhm.
that according to the FNAF free training
Yeah.
tapes, the Springlock suits are in the MCI 85 location. I know that.
Yeah.
Or 83, whatever. But at the time
Yeah.
of the MCI, like around then, they are stored in Freddy's. But I didn't know that back then,
Yeah.
so I just assumed, oh, William has the suit in Juniors, so he just puts on the Spring Bonnie suit, takes the kid. When it starts raining, he just takes off the suit, puts it in Juniors, and drives off with him to Freddy's. That was my assumption. But
Yeah.
I like
or
see there's like flaws, but I do like the whole like Green Afton thing because it fits, because he's the only guy there. He's right above the house. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
he's like, it feels like there's something there. But now with 5 laps at Freddy's, it feels like
It's
the Green Man just
possible.
isn't anything. And like I've gone on record to say that he's like my favorite human character of like hot take. He's like one of my favorite human characters.
True.
Like I love the Aftons and stuff, but it just feels like
Yeah,
there's
and
something else to him that we're not getting, but I
something
don't know
I-
what it is.
Something I said earlier was I would almost say because even Steel will have said they have to be very careful with color because certain colors can denote certain things. They've made the choice to connect certain colors to certain characters, even if it is multiple characters.
That's
Both Mike and Will being connected to purple.
That is
Although Mike
true.
doesn't also have the yellow, like where William Afton is kind of the purple and yellow, Mike is just kind of purple. So Steel themselves has said they've had to be careful with colors when it comes to that. I would have said that Scott made the Green Man green because then he's connected to nothing. But this is the game that they very specifically connect only Charlie to
Mhm.
green. So
Green Henry theory.
Something to go
I hate
with
Green
Green
Henry
Afton.
theory. I'm sorry.
If you read,
Hello.
Oh, hey Cosmo.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi.
hey,
Hi.
Cosmo.
Hi.
Hi,
I made it.
welcome.
Hello.
Oh, we got
Is
Sonic
there
and
something I'm
Shadow.
supposed to be
That's
looking
awesome.
at? Is there something I'm supposed
no,
to be
not,
looking at?
not
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 really.
particularly.
We
Okay,
were just
so
talking
happy
about the best
birthday.
theory of all time.
Oh, Connie,
Andrew
I want
Pizza?
you to. Connie, I'm gonna need you to go on a Fuji Tech and change your sprite over to the
What's
YouTube
my
one and not the
like-
chibi one.
Can you text message me that because I can never find the link
The
to that.
Fuji Tech link, it's just a search Fuji Tech. It's the first thing that pops up.
I
Is
would
it
like to
spelled
go
like
off with Green
it's
Afton.
snowing on Mount Fuji?
Fugi.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, I've been to Mount
Who
Fuji.
has it for you?
I got it.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Oh yeah. Hi,
Good.
Connie.
The
What's
dual
Hi.
process is here.
Yeah,
Can
I
make
don't.
a,
Yeah, Connie, you
don't
missed.
know how-
You missed two Susie theory.
Yeah, you
Tuesday,
missed out on
Tuesday.
Tuesday and 14
Susie,
trees.
yeah.
14
Susie
trees.
and Samantha.
Yeah, it was Charlie,
Can I
Susie,
make
and
a
Samantha,
connection?
but we're not gonna get back
Actually.
into that.
Yeah.
can I
Sounds fun. I'll catch up
can I
later.
make a connection to Green Afton?
Go
Yeah.
off.
So you said that like Green Guy / Afton is like stopping people from entering the building. If you read the Silver Eyes,
The guard.
Dave is guarding a mall and abandoned
Mhm.
Freddy's.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Mm.
I didn't bring this up in the original
There's
video, but
a
I
car-
Cars
did.
really
inside of
interesting.
Juniors, though.
In
Okay, that
Green
does-
Afton theory, is the restaurant open? Like, what are the other cars there for?
Okay, I will say
That is a good
this
point.
does
And I
beg-
never thought about
this does beg the question. This is, and even with one of the most common,
to add
widely
English back.
accepted things, which I mean, could be here or there, is that Michael is the runaway. Obviously, William Afton is the one in the car. Who's in the gray chair? The gray person in the chair doesn't matter in the end because that's what's important.
Well, it has to
Which is
be
weird.
someone.
But
Yeah.
look, I was willing to make those
It is.
sacrifices for the sake of Green Afton.
This, either way, even with that,
Worth it.
it raises, because we talked about the mound of dirt, and even a lot of people have an idea of it and why it would be important to show. Here's my question. With the limited pixels, why is it called Juniors? Because Scott chose to give it a name and give it a blinking sign with the name. If it was just like a bar and he wanted to show that it was a bar, he would put bar.
I agree.
We've seen
Or
games
like
that he would put pizza.
a
if it was a
sprite
pizza
of
place.
or a sprite of a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like if it was a pizza place, it would just be like blinking pizza or something. He chose to call it Juniors, which I think is a very weirdly specific choice for this type of minigame that I don't know if anyone's really delved into. Okay, why did he try to call it that? The reason I've always thought of Michael Runaway, at least a little bit, is when I hear Juniors, or when I first saw Juniors, my first thought was of Michael, and not just because he's one of my favorite characters. I promise I'm not biased. He's just the main character of FNAF or whatever.
He's my favorite.
He, it's almost like he's the player character in like every single game, and he's basically the main character. But again, I digress.
Yeah.
Junior, with the whole, he looks a lot like his dad. They both turn purple, etc. Juniors made me think of that immediately, but it's like, okay, what would that be telling us? That could be telling us that that place again might be Juniors, of maybe they don't let Will in because his son goes there, and they're like, no, fuck you, get out of here. We know you're a horrible father, and we like your son.
Is it not a bar? It's for junior people. Oh, is that what?
Someone in chat brought this up.
The other option I've had for why he called it Juniors is a little more complex, but it could make sense in that we are playing this game within FNAF 6. Juniors is supposed to be, or supposedly, but probably is, what Fredbear's used to be. And that's also, a lot of people say that with Pizzeria Sim as well, where this is the Fredbear's building that you've reclaimed and are now upgrading, which Mike owns. And maybe it's some kind of weird hint with Juniors, that weird kind of hint that you are playing as Mike. That's more meandering though. Because because Junior eventually gets to own the building, and you're currently playing as that, but I don't know.
Oh, so
that's
it's
the only other thing I can think of.
Junior of, okay, so it's Juniors because eventually Mike, being the junior of William, would get the building later on in 6.
Yeah,
okay,
in the game that we're playing. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a little more meandering, but could be an explanation to why he focused on naming it Juniors.
So I will say that this is the game where we learn all the MCI kids' names for the first time. And, we get Gabriel, Fritz, Jeremy, Susie, etc. And Fritz should really jump out to us. Fritz should jump out to us because the guard in FNAF 2 is named Fritz. And so I think, those being in the same game, the first thing I think when I see Juniors is I'm like, okay, we have a kid whose name is Fritz, and we have an adult whose name is Fritz, and we have the word Juniors in this game. I've said this, but just to be clear to everyone in the chat who may not have been here earlier, but I'm a full believer in the MCI kidnapping theory, where the runaway is one of the MCI victims. And so to me, it points to like the runaway is Fritz. And it's more of like a meta hint from Scott.
I'm thinking.
But again, what would
Mike
that be
is the
telling
runaway.
us?
What does Fruity Maze tell us? It's how William got one of the kids.
Well, it's his first victim, though, of the MCI. That's the distincting thing there.
As well as, like, like, God, that guy's creepy.
It's a
great picture.
I feel like.
What are we looking at?
Midnight Motorist.
We're just talking about Fruity Maze. Okay. Sorry. Spifer, please speak. Talk to me.
You're fine. Okay, so what if you notice, right? We're playing FNAF 6, which the protagonist being Mike. So if you have the mini games, right? You have a mini game that explains Susie, one of Afton's victims. You have a game that explains, Charlie, one of Afton's victims. But I would consider Mike as a victim of Afton because he's a
Absolutely.
victim of
Yeah.
abuse.
Yeah.
And
Well, not just
Well,
that.
also
is
William said
we
to down
were
there to
we
die.
were always on the fence of like, well, if anything, I mean, at best, he was incredibly neglectful with Mike's life to the point where if it's like, well, he dies, he dies. You know, throwing the canary into the coal mine. However, Mike was given hand unit or was left hand unit by William, and hand unit consistently tries to get you killed. So I wouldn't be surprised if he. Which my theory, and this is partially joking. This is half joking. /HJ/hand job. Listen.
What? We're going back for the double whammy.
You cannot slip that past
You cannot.
us.
You cannot just slip past that.
Okay. No. Okay. Listen. But so a lot of people, and it's really hard to tell, but Mike probably got quote unquote nightmare gassed in a way. Was going through FNAF 4 and some type of. My thought. He does that, and then his dad's like, okay, I need you to work some night shifts, do whatever, because you're the first person we can find, and I don't care about you, and I want you to do some of my dirty work. But here's the thing. He tried to get Mike killed via playing FNAF, sending him to FNAF 1, sending him to FNAF 2 first, before that, and then sending him to sister location. But he has spent so long playing FNAF 4 that Michael Afton got fucking cracked at Five Nights at Freddy's, and no matter what William Afton sent him through, he would win. He sent me to FNAF 2 on night 6 with no introduction, and Michael Afton was sitting there, flipping the camera up and down like that gif of the train at Five Nights at Freddy's.
This brings up
And the reason he died in sister location is because he didn't get to play Five Nights at Freddy's. In the fake ending, you get to go to the security room and do what Michael has been trained to do, which is play Five Nights at Freddy's. And if you don't, and you follow her to the scooper, you don't get to, and that's why you die, because it's an unknown to him. He doesn't know what this is, because he only knows Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, thanks Terminal Error for the gift of memberships, I appreciate it.
Hold on. This brings up a very important question. Did William Afton canonically beat 50?
Yes.
If you're trapped in hell playing FNAF,
is William also
after eternity? Yes.
At the
I would
very
say
least,
he has eternity to get cracked at FNAF.
Whatever. Good.
Yeah, Mike was really like, go through what I went through, bitch, get cracked at FNAF now.
Everybody's cracked at FNAF.
What we need to do is we need to find out how many nights Dawko played through before he got 50-20 and calculate that to
it's 14.
months /
14.
years.
No.
See how long
I think William cried too.
Connie, you don't understand. You don't understand. We need to get an old British guy who was already kind of old by the 90s and make him play FNAF and see how much it is.
I don't have a van.
I know some old guys. I live at I'm at a university. I can find some old guys.
That.
Oh,
I've got this sick
dear.
animatronic with ice cream. I think we can grab some people off the street with that.
Yeah.
Can I go back to Mike being the protagonist? Well, not the protagonist in like Midnight Motorist, but like being the runaway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So on the topic of Mike being a victim of Afton, right? What I think this is, and I think Nero really explained this really well. It's something I've believed for quite a long time. If you haven't watched Nero's Midnight Motorist video, go watch it right now. What are you doing?
Which one?
Oh yeah,
we're busy being here. Finish the stream first. Finish watching stream first. Do that after.
Yeah. You also watch Green Afton later. Green Afton later.
Oh, the video.
Yeah, watch Green Afton, guys. Okay, so basically, right?
It is naturally
because mainly because of the dice, right? I believe MM87 now.
Oh, we gotta talk about that too.
Oh, I forgot about those dice.
We need to talk about MM87. I've been waiting to bring.
Oh, we need to talk about MM87.
I've
been waiting to bring
that. Here's also a question, y'all. I will say, FNAF 2. If we're thinking about 87, we know what happens at 87. It's FNAF 2.
Yeah.
I will say this is later. It seems to be later the night that Charlie died, which would have had to have happened before the events of FNAF. Of FNAF 2, since the puppet is active and doing Charlie things. However, I will add, if it's not, if later that night somehow wasn't about Charlie, is the final night of FNAF they say, "Oh, we haven't been able to find a replacement for you yet, but whatever." And the final night, I believe the night guard's like, well, it's. I'm trying to think of when you go there as Fritz Smith. It's like, was he there on
1987,
purpose, or did
night
Mike
7?
fucking like bolt and be like, I need to play FNAF. It's all I know.
Night 7. It's
He's on
Night 7.
7.
That's right.
Night
Not
7.
night 6.
Yeah.
Because my thought was always like, oh,
Because-
Will grabbed Mike because like he would do it, obviously.
Yeah. We think
But like,
that Jeremy died. Well, no, he didn't die.
he got
He,
bit. Yeah.
He got bit, right? So
Yeah. Well,
there's an
the week
idea
before pretty much
that I loved.
confirms.
At the very
Yeah.
least, an employee got bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
I have
So
the week before basically confirms it was Jeremy because the whole staff is like super jokey about
Yeah.
it. Like, oh yeah, it's like you can't spell team without meat, and like it's pretty obvious that it was Jeremy Fitzgerald.
Absurd comments, by the
And
way.
Jeremy was
but
the
like,
one who
like
stopped
cannon
showing up
fodder
after the
kind
bite
of
of
meat.
87
Cannon
happened.
fodder kind of meat, not anything else. Okay.
so
I mean, I don't
Well,
listen. I don't know.
Well,
Like,
Jeremy stopped
cannon
showing up.
fodder is
they
somehow
had those
even
back
insane.
rooms for a reason.
Yeah, it's a bleed
Corey,
out.
calm down a sec.
She has not been
That
calm
is
this
true.
Corey,
entire
calm down a
stream.
sec.
Sorry,
But
I'm drinking root
the-
beer.
Oh no, she's
No,
gonna be on
it's
a
fine.
sugar
Root
high.
drunk driving of my own.
Yeah, she's gonna be on a sugar high the rest of the night. I hope y'all are prepared. But the
well,
I work night shift.
Jeremy was also told specifically to be near the animatronics on his day
Mhm.
shift.
Yeah.
They said stay near them, make sure they don't hurt anyone. So it's like 99% like, well, I'd say with FNAF 95
Does anyone
maybe
here
percent
not
sure that it's
think-
Jeremy.
That's
Does anyone
why-
here
At
not
this
think Jeremy is the victim of the bite of 87?
I'd say it's an 87%
I'd say, yeah.
chance.
I mean, I know people.
Wait.
14%
I know
chance that he's
people.
not.
Exactly.
Oh shit.
All right.
I'm not gonna
That-
call
those
it
almost
like
line up.
people.
That's surprisingly close. Hold on.
Crash, stop giving me money,
I will
man. You're gonna
say-
go
What the
broke.
I will say
I
to
do-
Gibby, as far I am fairly somewhat convinced that Fritz Smith in FNAF 2 is probably Mike, seeming how they have the exact
Yeah.
same firing reasons, that being tampering with animatronics and odor, because Mike has depression
agree.
stinkiness.
Zetarox, you want
I
to jump in?
wholeheartedly agree.
Mm-hmm.
I want to put it out there though that I think Midnight Motorist is the origin of Fritz Smith and how Michael gets hired for the very first time to work a location.
Okay.
Maybe.
Under 87 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting to. Is it possible that Mike was booking it for
Yeah.
for the shift.
What if that night
yeah.
before 7
That's
is
kind of
that
funny. and
later that
awful.
night is the night that Jeremy got bitten?
Maybe so.
He got bitten during the day.
See?
I
Does the bite? Hmm.
The bite happened
I don't
during
know.
the day.
It doesn't fully line up because it's probably later the night Charlie died, because they focus on that in another. Like, you get to
Yeah,
see that in
it gets
another
weird.
minigame. I will say
Well-
there are other minigames that aren't from 6 where it is very specifically raining, and William Afton is involved, and that is all of the nights where he disassembles the animatronics in the FNAF 3 minigames. However, it's raining every night. So I don't know what night and
Yeah.
it's definitely not the night he died, because he's the one driving the car. So
What if it's not him? What if it's the Spring Bonnie suit?
oh my
What
god.
if it was
I
him?
told you, Spring Bonnie suit is driving the goddamn car again.
Which is why Pit Bonnie
He's
knows how to
gonna
drive
hit
like
someone.
crazy.
Really hope.
Oswald.
He's gonna hit Oswald again.
Fast and
Speaking of which,
Furious,
so
Pit Bonnie.
just as
Something-
someone who's read Return to the Pit,
We talked about. Already covered this. It's a
okay,
wreck.
I just want to say I find it hysterical how many endings are just Oswald getting hit by
Yeah.
a car.
There's like
Yeah, someone
20.
joked about
There are
that.
so
true.
many.
Even his dad dies once in one of the car crashes.
Really,
Yep.
that's hilarious. I
Yeah.
forgot about
William
that.
Afton running over
No, yeah, Corey-
David?
William Afton likes
Question
to
mark?
run. He again. I think every character that has gotten hit by a car was hit by William Afton, and we can't disprove
That's
this.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It has
Well,
to be
I mean,
David.
technically we
David
can.
He's
had
killed
to
more
die
people
by
with his
William.
car than he ever. Well, okay, my theory. William Afton, serial drunk driver, loved hitting people and dogs with his car. He loved it so much.
Yes.
They took away. They take away
As
after
terrible
Midnight
as it is.
Motorist. After Midnight Motorist or whatever, they take away his license, and he's like, "What do I do? I
Yes.
can't hit bitches with my car anymore. How am I supposed to kill children with machines? And there's a little light bulb above his head.
This is the beginning of Fazbear
That's the most
Entertainment.
insane sentence ever.
I think this is the most compelling story ever told, actually.
With you saying
Yep.
about like the dog
Depends.
getting hit by William, I had thought about it previously that the mound could be where the dog is buried.
It's too early.
Mainly because in Fruity Maze you see the rabbit coming out of a mound of dirt, which would imply that it's
That is
burrowing for
true.
something there.
That's true.
Mm.
Oh my god, that's true.
Rabbit burrows. Yeah.
Yeah, rabbit burrows to bury
See,
something.
this is-
You know, if
But also, here's the thing. The
Most
thing
people
about
don't
this
know
is
this.
I don't see why William would have had to hide the dog, because as
That
far as
is-
we can
yeah.
tell from Fruity Maze, is Susie
Yeah.
saw the dog get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like we
Or
see
the
like the
aftermath.
bloody
This is
corpse of
why-
the dog like in the minigames, which is crazy. By
Well,
the way.
here's the
which,
thing though.
that image would have stuck in her mind if she saw it, as well,
Well-
as like the sound of a car,
Yeah.
which
In
means
the
she probably
fourth
saw it
closet-
get hit.
In the fourth closet, there was a thing about like the parents saying that the dog ran away, but overhearing the dad say that the dog died.
Yeah, but
In
this is why.
Different continuities, but like it could, you know.
in what part of fourth closet?
fourth
In the
closet.
fourth closet, talking about like it was like mom said that like the dog ran away, but overheard the parents saying that it was ran over.
Oh,
and then
about
Bonnie's-
which character?
What? Really?
Susie.
Susie was talking about the dog.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, but then that. Wait,
We're
wait,
talking
wait,
about
wait, wait.
Carlton.
It's
Hear me
when
out.
Carlton is trying to put their memories back together.
Yes, and the
Yes,
fourth
and-
closet was
Talking
released
about-
Susie's
shortly
like,
after
"Oh, Spring
FNAF
Bonnie's
6.
my friend.
Oh, yeah,
my mom
that's
said
true.
the dog. My mom said my doggy went to heaven. My daddy said he got hit by a car, but Spring Bonnie said he could take me to him."
Yeah.
And then Carlton's
my
like,
God.
"No."
Wait, the mound is Susie's dog because the
Oh,
fourth
no.
closet came out after FNAF 6. And the fourth closet cleared up
Well, I
everything.
wanna
It cleared
put
up Molten MCI. It cleared up like why like
That's
how
right.
Afton was like still alive and it was still him. How Baby kind of came a comeback. Sure, it was like mirrored, it was weird, but it was still more or less like FNAF 6
Yeah.
adjacent. So if we see a dog getting hit by a car in the fourth closet and it's connected to Spring Bonnie, William Afton must have run over that fucking dog.
I would
Yeah.
not be surprised if he ran
What a
over that
jerk.
goddamn dog.
What if the mound is literally the dog and
Well,
it's
every person
Wait, I
is-
know,
like, you
ah.
know that guy in oh my god, what was it called? The Foxy story with the Foxy that had like a witch circle
Step
around it for
Closer.
some reason. Yeah, Step Closer. That kid from Step Closer absolutely got hit
Yeah,
by William
Step
Afton. Are you
Closer.
kidding?
Yeah. This
Oswald
leaned into
17
my
different times. He hit Oswald with his car and then backed up and forwarded and backed up over and over again.
What
to
if-
make
14
sure he
times.
killed him.
What,
yeah,
what
this
if
is my-
Mike got hit by a car? Come on.
Susie had a dog.
Didn't get hit
Susie
by a
had a
car.
dog, so this does mean something, you know? It has to mean something. Okay.
This was my idea
Yeah.
for like, hey, Afton is watching these kids. 'Cause my thought process was Afton runs over a dog, maybe talks it over with parents, you know.
More of a
so-
leap, but it's still evident. More of a
So-
leap, but it's still evident. In in the Fazbear Fright story, Friendly Face, we see two
Oh,
friends
okay.
and they adopt a cat. Well, hear me out. Hear me
Oh
out.
no.
I know it sounds crazy.
Oh god.
We see two friends and they adopt a cat, and they like though the cat means a lot to them.
Yeah.
And eventually, one day, the cat runs out on the road and gets hit by a car. David parallels
Ah.
aside. This is
That's
another
true.
instance. This is our third
By William
instance.
Afton.
Third instance of a pet getting like run over by a car in this franchise, and Friendly Face is a fright
Hey,
story.
question: does David count as a
Are you
pet?
calling Oswald
Yes.
a pet?
No.
Yeah,
Third,
Brandon.
third,
David counts as
third-
a pet.
Bird being Midnight Motorist,
Oh.
fourth closet, Friendly Face. So pets being run over
I
by
will s-
cars is a
Now-
thing that happens.
Do not forget, Friendly Face also has two children be hit by a car in separate instances.
Yes, that is true.
I
The
think
main
Scott
character
has
also
a
gets hit by a
thing
car.
with hitting people with
The
cars.
only
Wait, no,
instance-
Scott's just
the
big on
only-
road rage,
the
I
only
think.
Closer,
outlier
in
I
step
can think
closer.
of is Plush Trap was hit by a train instead. So
Yeah,
unless
in
William
Step-
Afton was going toot toot, then you know.
Hey, in Step Closer,
Okay,
wasn't
that's
the
a good
main
stretch.
character hit by a truck? In Step Closer?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
might have been a
People
truck.
keep getting run
It
over.
was a truck.
What is this?
William Afton's bad at driving. I'm telling you.
man,
That's all
I just-
connected.
But it, like, okay, I
Guys,
listen. I have a
you're
reason
like-
why there's a mound. I have like why the mound is like highlighted in this minigame. It's for us to connect the
It's
dots.
a pile
And-
of shit.
Everyone in
Yup.
this call except for Gibby is gonna agree on
Oh.
this. Oh, hell no.
Oh.
Let me just finish.
Hey!
Onward
We
and-
just solved the mound. It's a pile of poopy.
I was
Now
listening,
what
I
I
was
was what I meant is that
I saw you in the chat.
what I was saying is that the reason we see the mount highlighted so importantly, why it's such a prominent feature of this like minigame. The main reason for that is for us to connect the dots and realize that Yellow Guy is Afton. Yellow Guy is the one who did the murders. Yellow Guy is William Afton. Everyone here except Gibby will agree, I think. That's my thoughts, and I'm probably gonna make a video out of this because I think I have something there. I don't know if you agree with me, but I think
we need to make videos about Tuesday theory. I think we can really go.
I will. I'm gonna make a short about it.
We should just do like a 7-part video, each one of us doing like 2 sentences.
Did you bring up the idea that smashing windshields could be related to hitting a dog?
That's what I said.
Yeah, I think someone did mention that.
Okay, I think what's also funny is that in
saying
counted
that
in car-related deaths, Charlie was not hit by a car. He parked the car, walked out, and then killed her in some way, and then got back in the car and left.
For sure?
Shockingly not hit.
Yeah,
As far as we could tell, she wasn't hit. Well, because in the first version of the cutscene, we can see him walk out. And
well, like
it could have been. It could have been. I don't see any wounds, so my thought is some kind of strangulation because she's like 12. It's not that hard to strangle a child. Their necks are small.
I would like
Corey, she could be younger than that. Like she was
be even
like
younger than that.
she was like
They're squishy. They're easy to choke out.
She was like
I would like to go off
4.
your
Why do you seem so confident in this?
Yeah, have you done this before?
No, I'm just short.
Oh, that's
my
yeah,
God.
all right, yeah.
I get it.
I'm 5 foot.
Can I
I'm
go
kidnap
off of your
material.
Can I go off of your car idea? So
Yes.
Yeah, that's
so I
the
think
funniest option.
that
is the thing.
implies that the driver like stopped and like
This
got
is
out
earlier.
All
So
of the
this is like,
passage.
which I don't
this
think
is
William would do.
This is the later 80s, though. This is what.
because like if you
David
think
was his
about it,
first
though,
kill. He got the taste
Because,
of blood.
Yeah, but what if?
Wait,
what if,
everyone,
Afton tampered with
everyone, can we just, the stream's lagging like crazy, and I'm afraid we've got like way too many people
Yes,
on.
no.
To
I'm
lead
sorry,
David to
the
stream.
bandwidth gods are demanding corpses, like I just said. For those of you who aren't talking much or are a bit busy, is it okay if you pop out for like a while, and then I can see if I can get you back in? Just, I'm sorry, my stream isn't able to handle the like 10+ people we have here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
I am happy to bounce.
that's
I just have
lame.
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm really
I'll
sorry.
bounce out for a little bit.
If
Whether
it's cool, I prefer to stay. I can
leave
leave around like 6:15, but then I'll leave for work afterwards. So
Sure.
Oh, I just got back from work.
oh,
Trade off.
I'm gonna
Oh,
like just
gosh.
deleting some images and just clearing up the stream a little bit. I just want to ensure that
memory.
there's not too much lagging because I do want to make this into a video.
y'all know who
Here's
Randy
my, and
Bellface
this is
is?
always and this is always my question about Remnant because it's like ghost
Yeah.
Ghost shit gets connected to metal because metal can do it conduit life that bullshit.
Yeah.
So, question: is David now haunting that car that hit him?
No.
It's
Oh
metal.
my God.
Okay, Corey,
You bring
our
up a
sister
great
North had a
point.
thought about this. Our sister North
Well,
had a
my
thought about
thought was
this.
always like, what about when you shoot someone and they die? Do they haunt that bullet now? Because
Haunted
it's made of
tanks,
metal.
Put that bullet-
haunted tanks.
Where-
and knights
Where are all
armor.
of my haunted medieval suits of armor, Scott?
Corey,
Because-
our sister North had a
because
really
Afton-
good point about this. She pointed out that mostly while we were listening, actually we were, I think we were listening to Gibby talk about 1:35 a.m. But
Probably.
Yeah.
she was saying that with Remnant, it's entirely possible that attaching it to animatronics is the souls haunt metal like all the time, but the animatronics are the ones that are programmed to be able to move and walk,
Yeah.
so they're like the only ones people
Well,
notice.
that's why the animatronics in FNAF 1 and all the other ones like don't fucking talk is because they don't have voice boxes, but he gave Circus Baby and other ones. Not they don't just have like the thing about sister location that people tend to forget is those characters don't have pre-recorded lines. They have like a voice box with like a fucking AI voice that they're able to control, which William absolutely did on purpose to see if they would be able to talk. And then in FNAF 6, I think the reason the voices don't come from either vent is because it's probably ghost voice stuff, which wouldn't make sense for Baby because it's not Elizabeth's voice, but it absolutely makes sense for Will.
No, it makes sense because Heather Masters is awesome. We want
that's why they did that.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to get more lines out of her, which I don't blame them.
Speaking of Remnant, right, and how they haunt metal, I'm pretty sure people already knew this, but like when Afton is spring locked, he like becomes one with the suit. He doesn't necessarily die. He just fuses with the suit.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Remnant and stuff and possession is like, okay, so obviously possession through metal is like what we mostly know. Haven't we had other things that aren't metal become like infected before? Like metal is the easiest conduit to be possessed, but it's not the only.
Probably, yeah.
If the Fredbear plush is possessed, I know a lot of people have different theories about it. If there's like a
me and Connie have a very specific theory that we're holding off on until we can say we were right.
Yeah, if the
we have to wait. We have to.
Shows...
A recent thing has occurred that made it so we have to wait before we can say that theory.
Does it have something to do with your thoughts on the Silver Eyes? Maybe.
No.
Okay. So
no, that's a whole different theory.
Okay, I'm hyped for that one. But in the Silver Eyes, Charlie's little doll thing also gets possessed, but that's more agony, not remnant. Like that's a big question mark.
Yeah.
But it's not possession because it's not her. That's the distinction there.
Either way, paper plate dolls definitely prove it doesn't need electronics to be haunted. So,
for supernatural things to happen. Yeah.
And also, isn't Jake's doll wasn't that like a plush?
Yes, it was. That's what I was like. That's what I was thinking about specifically. Is like with the mask and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Remnant's complicated. I made a whole video. I still don't understand all the way.
I don't think the Fredbear plush has any ghosts in it, because if so, then they did nothing with that, because it's literally just sitting in the bunker doing fuck all.
Unless the Fredbear plush is Crying Child, maybe.
But then why would it be that?
Crying Child.
Then why would it be that? It's sitting in the bunker somewhere. Yeah, he's just sitting in the bunker hanging out. He's not even in the box or something.
I think Sister Location takes place before FNAF 2, and so he doesn't need to be in the bunker forever. He just happens to be down there at that point.
Well, it's like that's why the eyes are still lit up in the bunker. It's like, oh, it's possessed. I've had that thought. I mean, I don't think Sister Location.
The eyes are lit up in FNAF 4 because it has like cameras in it. The eyes are lit up during FNAF 4 and they follow you. That's like one of the main things about it.
But they're darkened out at the beginning. They're blacked out at the beginning. And I've used that as like my idea of, oh, the Fredbear plush in the mini games is like whoever you think the plush is. I think it's Cassidy looking through the memories of Crying Child, and that's why it's lit up and being all supernatural in the mini games. It's similar to it's similar to Gibby, your arcade theory of sorts of looking back at memories. It's like that, but for me more supernatural, less the arcade side.
My main thoughts on FNAF 4 right now, just following the reveal, following the week before, following the like implications of loop theory with the Into the Pit adaptations, and with the Fazbear Frights ending epilogue, it really seems like they're establishing ghosts as going like, and with Alone Together, they establish ghosts as walking through a loop of like either memories or places depending on where they are. And so,
and it is. I really
implies to me that the FNAF 4 mini games are
even going by the week before. The idea is that he's reliving the week before he died, which is what FNAF 4 would be. It's the week before Crying Child, maybe didn't die, but got the thing that led to his death. And it's important enough that like I think Crying Child's ghosts is not fully formed yet, or not put back together. So it's still reliving memories over and over again.
I was on a 6-hour live stream yesterday talking all about FNAF 4 and everything about the plush and everything like that. But to take that idea of what you're talking about and sort of tie it back to Midnight Motorist, because I just wanted to jump in because I thought of something interesting. with Midnight Motorist 87, which is why I started thinking about this. I know we've gone on like 100 tangents since then, but with Juniors, right? The only thing that I have with it that would make me like question or believe potentially Midnight Motorist 87 is that we have a building which is it's guarded out front, and whoever this yellow guy is drives up, and he's told specifically that he's not allowed in. The only other case we have that happening in the entire series is in FNAF 2, when Ralph says that no other previous employees are allowed in the building. It's on lockdown.
Wait.
And then in the Night 5 phone call, and it's a line that has never made sense to me, but I'm thinking about it in this sense. If we believe that this is the Afton house, and if we believe that this is the exact same layout of road that leads to Fredbear's, there's a line in Night 5's phone call with Ralph where he says, we don't have a replacement for your chef, but we're working on it. We're going to try contact the original restaurant owner. I think the name of the place was Fredbear's Family Diner or something like that. It was closed for years, though. I doubt we'll be able to track anybody down. What I'm potentially proposing is that Fredbear's Family Diner was closed for years, and then it was reused and repurposed as the FNAF 2 location.
Here's an idea.
My God.
This goes back to my previous. Wait, guys. This goes back to my previous point. This could maybe be why it's called Juniors, because it's like the junior version of Freddy's.
So not to like overload everything with what we were talking about on the stream last night, the like 6-hour one, but I've basically got this idea of Bite Victim influencing a lot of things that happen in the series.
Destiny Victim
and
again.
If Fredbear's is the FNAF 2 location, it would give a reason for 2 bites happening a few years apart. If the crying child is possessing that like building or potentially the whole series, that it's literally the same place that it is recreated at a birthday, that another bite happens in the same building.
At the end of the week.
Actually, cool.
At the end of the week as well, yes.
Yeah.
Wonder whose birthday that was.
Can you go over how FNAF 2 Fredbear's again?
Wait.
So in Midnight Motorist, there is, so I know you're not a believer of Afton Midnight Motorist, but I'm taking the evidence that the map has the same physical layout in terms of like twists and turns. If you turn it 90 degrees, it leads from a house up a road to the right, up into a building, and then away. So this is just based on that there is a house that links to a location down the road to the right, up, you can lay one over the other and it works.
Yes.
If Juniors is the old Fredbear's location, we have a guy out the front who says, come on, man, you can't be here. In FNAF 2, Ralph says on Night 5 that the building's on lockdown, no one's allowed in or out, especially concerning any previous employees. So in that sense, it would be an idea of William is not allowed back in. He's been barred. It's a lockdown. And then we have also the dice in 5 Lives.
You bringing up that, like, because now that I'm thinking about it, unless it's like, because I could see it being like, haha, here's a hint towards 3 and 4, but why would they need to contact the original owner of Fredbear's?
Yeah, that's the thing.
If they're in that building, then maybe they're like,
and the way he words
the franchise owner or the building owner of,
so this is placing Midnight Motorist in 87, and you're saying it take place like around the time of the bite of 87, like after the DCI was discovered. Like after
that would be
the night.
And again,
the night of the DCI,
the night of Fritz,
later that night,
the night of Fritz Smith, possibly.
Wait, so who does that make the runaway?
Well, that's why I'm saying the night of Fritz Smith, because it's possible it's Michael and he went off to go be Fritz Smith.
It's Elizabeth and she's trans.
I will say, if Midnight Motorist 87 is true, I do find the idea of Henry being the couch person to make a lot more sense to me, because that's really the only time I could find that believable. Is at this point, Henry's kind of just comatose, not giving a shit, being like, whatever. So yeah, Mike would be the runaway, willing to come back, whatever.
And you could be led there by Golden Freddy or by Shadow Freddy, either.
Yeah, it would open both of them up.
So is Green Guy Ralph?
Yeah, he could be. He could be Ralph.
I don't know, maybe.
A sprite of Ralph? That'd go crazy.
No way.
Oh,
I was thinking of something though.
I see.
Hey,
I don't know why exactly.
Cypher's
he
been
would be
trying to say
green,
something
but
for
I
the
can't
past
see why
5
he
minutes.
wouldn't be green.
Corey, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Cypher's been trying to say something for the past 5 minutes. You told me to interrupt you if someone wanted to say something, so I'll do it.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. Okay. So earlier this week, right, or like last week, because you know how you brought up how Fredbear's Family Diner could be converted into the second location with the toys. Well, something I've noticed and I had an idea of because I'm the FNAF movie guy, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh wait, yeah.
if you notice in the in the pictures that they have of the second location right now, it looks abandoned. So what if they are renovating it from Fredbear's Family Diner to the second location in the film?
Ooh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if the second movie has them go into like an abandoned 87 location and we have an abandoned withered mangle, I'm gonna start like screaming.
And something else I will say is that the yellow suits are in the back. It would have made sense if they never moved them from Fredbear's because no one ever bought the building.
But they did.
And they renovated it, and those suits just kind of hung out.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, but they do move them into the MCI location because we know that in the FNAF 3 calls, Ralph mentions that they have two spring
there's at
suits.
least there's at least Spring Bonnie to where the MCI took place.
Yeah, I just think it'd be interesting if Fredbear was brought back to the building that like we could even say maybe that it's like it's a repeating of the events that Fredbear is returned to the same building and is in the same
then you
situation.
could. I mean, that actually could make even more of a mystery because when Ralph says someone put on a yellow suit in the back, now none of them are acting right. It could be either one now.
Yeah.
Because the yellow suit is it could either be the rabbit suit of the guy that killed them, or the yellow bear suit of the suit that bit someone in this building.
I have a theory that no one actually put on the suit, and that Ralph, when he says that, is a misinterpretation of what's happening.
Yeah,
he
that could
thinks
very well
that
be.
someone put on a
I
suit,
believe.
but it moved by itself.
It moved, yeah.
Golden Freddy teleporting around.
Mm-hmm.
We're
It could
talking
very
about
well be
FNAF
Golden
Theories.
Freddy's just teleporting around, and it's like, and he's like, oh, so I guess someone moved it, or someone put it on. You know.
I believe that
Yeah,
William.
that would track.
So wait, no suit involved in the DCI?
Yeah, because we don't see William in one and save them. So.
I think
I believe
He's
that
at
William
least
Afton.
already out of it.
I obviously have my
Can be great for mobility.
conspiracy theory about casted DCI, but I do think that the yellow suit that was moved in FNAF 2 was Golden Freddy and not Spring Bonnie.
Yeah,
I don't think Spring Bonnie was ever at that location.
Yeah, he's in the wall.
I do
I
like
wouldn't be
casted
surprised
I believe
DCI.
that
That was
William
fun.
Afton.
Even though,
I believe that William Afton.
I think the DCI. I think
ever since that one Midnight Motorist video, I've been trying to put together this idea of when it comes to Shadow Freddy and Shadow Freddy being weirdly connected to Lefty and Charlie and all this stuff.
The intro game for FNAF 6 too.
With Follow Me, with all of that, and how Lefty is just a recolored version of Fredbear, and it's like, okay, why is the puppet connected to like this shadowy version of Fredbear? And my thought was, the guy said, Ralph said, it's always the puppet's always thinking and it can go anywhere, and there was other reasoning behind this, and I can't remember right now, so it might sound like an idiot, but I was thinking about the possibility of the puppet actively putting on the Fredbear suit. For various reasons. I'm not entirely sure why yet, but it's not impossible.
So like it's had a history of putting on suits, so that's why it was a trap.
I had an idea to go with it, though.
Because then it could have used that for like, I don't know, various reasons, even like with the I don't know. I'm not in. Maybe there's maybe there's other thoughts, but I think it is there was other reasons, but I think with how connected she is to a shadowy version of Fredbear, as well as being within the Lefty suit and being able to control it, I do think that for whatever reason, it's possible that the puppet was the one who, quote unquote, put on the suit and moved it around.
I still like the lefty DCI theory where Charlie is like meching this around, but there's like 5 other kids in there.
And they are not Trish compatible.
Cypher, you were going to say something there?
Okay, so I'm huge on the DCI, right? Like, it's something I've been trying to uncover for a very long time. I'm starting to like think that, you know, and this is off topic, but I think that the Rescue the Children minigame from Into the Pit is the DCI, but I'll talk about that in the future. So, if you notice, right, what I personally believe is that William Afton used the Golden Freddy suit to kill the DCI and possibly transfer them to the toys, question mark? But
That's also
to go
Not
off
impossible.
of that, right, like, to go off of it,
That would explain why it's so mad and save them. It's like, dude, that guy just put me on. I hate it. I hate it.
The question, right, is if Cassidy is the vengeful spirit, or Andrew, right, how did they attach to Afton? What if Afton wore the Golden Freddy suit, and that's how they attached to him to kill the DCI?
Just leaked from the suit to the Afton.
Yes.
I'd see that, but I think it's just becomes an issue because Golden Freddy appears as Golden Freddy in FNAF 1, so then we'd have them attached to Afton, but also projecting still as Golden Freddy.
Well, that would be why they show up less frequently, because they're very common in FNAF 2.
But I would imagine it's more likely that she gets
they're
attached.
the most common in FNAF 2, but they're still like, I mean,
someone in chat brought this
they're
up,
accidentally
and I wanted
really
to
common on
point
night
this out
6.
as well, since we're on the subject of FNAF 2. But the night where Phone Guy says someone, we had a spare in the back, a yellow one, someone moved it, none of them are acting right. The night he says that is the night Golden Freddy becomes active. Right. And I know we talked about it being a glitch earlier.
Yeah, it's an accident, yeah.
But you never know, man. Like, what if it was, what if it is relevant?
So, we know that in the game, that's the night he's active, and someone's looked at the code and said, like, oh, well, it was supposed to be something else. But, like, how do we know that that was a mistake by Scott?
He was supposed
how
to
do
be
we know that was a
mistake?
How do we know that was just a mistake and not Scott?
There's
like,
another there's another instance of this, which is there's a line of unused code in FNAF 2. There's a line of unused code in FNAF 2. I watched a video on this called it's under like metalrun.wave, like as a sound effect, where once you saw one of the rare Easter egg characters, like Shadow Freddy or Endo02 or whatever, once you clicked off that camera, you would hear like a running sound effect and they disappear. And that's in the code and it's unused, but we don't know if it was a mistake.
What happened.
Well, that was, I think, wasn't there also some missed code where
there's a bunch of missed
the
code
ones on the cameras, it was supposed to like fuzz out really quickly so you wouldn't get to hold on that screen, and it just didn't work.
There's a bunch of
obviously FNAF 2 was incredibly rushed, but
rushed.
Most I'm not surprised with how hype people got about the first game. He was probably under so much stress.
Well, I mean, he talked about it in the Doggo interview. He was saying that was not like the best time for him. I could totally see it with Scott like programming, and then he's play testing it. Golden Freddy pops up on night 6, and he's like, "Oh, well, that wasn't intentional, but it kind of works out. Whatever." And he's left it like that.
Yeah. That's coding, baby.
This, I would make it more. I would see it more likely as Scott, because of the nature of the way he seems to make games and the kind of scuffed nature of some of the stuff in his codes. Like, for example, on night 4 of FNAF 4, the line, what's it? The one that's said at the end of every night?
Tomorrow's another day.
Is technically an event in that night, but the way it's been programmed is it's just pushed to a point that it happens after the game already fades away from the night.
Really?
So I wouldn't be surprised if Scott did program in Golden Freddy by, like, you know, whether it was a copy and paste from someone else, you know, another event or whatever. And then instead of making it so that it's like a unique thing where it's like, okay, I have to set up a whole thing of when they show up and don't show up, he just like intentionally breaks the code so that it can't happen until night. Now, I don't know how possible. This is something that when I get into theorizing on it, it's like, I don't know enough about Click Team to see.
Because that also gets into author intent, which is difficult to get into. Because that's the issue about theorizing about anything, is because eventually you have to get to author intent, and author intent is the one biggest unknown unless they say it.
Yeah, someone in
'Cause,
chat
none
said
of us are
he
smart.
would have removed calls for functions he didn't want.
Here's the thing,
anymore.
Rick. He made
But
those
then I'm
games in
imagining that
ClickTeam,
if
and
he's-
everyone knows ClickTeam is the worst programming engine ever.
That's true.
So, like,
It is so funny how
Yeah.
much
You could have
just a
run
guy
into
Scott
difficulties.
is. It's like, yeah.
We had 5 laps at Freddy's, and it was a buggy mess.
Well, that's a demo.
Well, that
That
wasn't
was
even made in
That was
ClickTeam, right?
I mean,
No, it's
No,
a
it
demo.
is.
No,
I
Which is
think-
insane.
Well, it was
I
made
am-
by ClickTeam, but I think it was made in a
I am
different
of the
engine.
It's a different
opinion
engine.
that 5 Laps
Yeah.
of Freddy's
Oh, my bad.
It
confirms
is a
that Midnight
different
Motorist is about the Aftons, and I don't think I'm going to change that opinion.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
And
No,
I do
yeah,
think
that-
someone was
that-
talking
Maybe.
about
Care
this
to jump in?
earlier of how of the
Let's
idea
agree to
of,
disagree.
Well, someone
Yeah,
someone
we
was
disagree on a
bringing
lot
this
of things,
up earlier
Gibby,
of
that's
the
okay.
3 different mini games being like
I
the
love you
kid killing
anyway.
victims, Charlie as a victim, and then like the closer to Afton family house life, which is kind of a good amount of like grouping, you know? Like you have, well, let's do the first one from the MCI, and then Charlie, and then something going on with Mike.
Five Laps at Freddy's does not have me particularly convinced either. And it's not because it doesn't seem like clear evidence, it's just that every time I hear a theory in which the Midnight Motorist is Afton, I'm like, I don't really like that theory very much.
Yeah, that's
I-
I mean, I think
My
it's the
only-
most. I think it's
That's
the
fair.
most logical explanation, just based on the fact that, like, again, in these pixel cutscenes, we have to use very little to convey a whole lot. And he was like, "I'm giving this motherfucker a purple car." Whether the whatever the color
and
of the
yet-
character itself is, it's Afton's car, absolutely.
And
It's
yet
also-
the sprite
Yeah.
isn't purple. He's
Yeah.
orange.
Okay, so I have an idea as
Couple
to why
of-
that is. So I think first of all, the issue I have with non-Afton Midnight Motorist, any version of it, is the problem with for me is like it's the most detailed of any of the mini games. Like it has the most in-depth storytelling of any of them. Not that any of us
Yeah.
understand it, but
It actually has a
we
word
kinda-
spelled out.
It has like a huge
Yeah.
amount of detail, and to me, if it was just another one of the victims, like I understand that, like
And yeah, and
Susie's
it's like,
just
what's the
another one of the
point,
victims,
you know?
Charlie's another one of the victims, but I don't know why specifically. If the game was just to tell us, oh, it's Gabriel or it's Fritz or it's whoever, I don't understand why it would be so hugely focused on in terms of the story. I think Scott thought it was going to tell us something that he didn't make clear enough, that we didn't put together the pieces.
Yeah.
See
and
all
also-
of FNAF 4.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
with the purple yellow thing, I think it's another example of Scott doing something in response to the previous games.
And
because
what
I think
happened
him-
previously was everyone being
Michael
so
was-
confused about Mike being purple. I
Yeah,
was
and
there
Michael
for
was
that.
purple.
It was so
If-
confusing.
If he was any other color than yellow, if he was say like red or green or whatever, I would be totally on board. I would say, oh, the purple
Yeah.
car is just a misdirect, but the purple car is also specifically the same car because it has the fenders on the
And
wheels.
I
and
will also
none of the
say,
other cars
I
have.
will also say again, William Afton, his purple guy sprites, as least most of them, as far as I can tell, aren't just purple. They have that little yellow badge, that little yellow thing on it, which
Just that
is
one.
And he's
Yeah,
bright
super
yellow.
money.
Meanwhile, the purple Mike sprite we see is kind of just purple. He has his shirt off in that scene, which that's still my biggest question about FNAF
And
is why in the
shoes.
last one did Enter take their shirt and shoes off to go on that little stroll? I still
Yeah,
don't
that's true.
understand it.
Why is he barefoot?
Yeah, there's maybe it was Scott was like, look, there's no possibility for him to have the badge on, so it's not William. I don't know, like. What is he
Yes,
gonna
I
do?
think
Pin it to his, you know?
I think it was Scott probably going, okay, I've got a purple guy now who is literally purple, like in universe he is purple if you look at him on the street. And I've got this other character who has been purple and pink, but he's also
He's
mainly
symbolically purple.
when he's being represented as the killer, he's yellow. I think if Scott were to go back in
Thank
time, he
you,
probably would
guys.
just have made William like represented by that color anyway, because
Yeah, well, 'cause
purple
originally
is
the
only his like accent color,
the
really.
original idea behind using purple was to show that like this is a character in the shadows. That's why Shadow Freddy has a lot of purple in it, is because like purple is a good color for being like, look, this person's in the shadows, and when you have only a certain amount of colors, it just makes sense.
Yeah, I got one last
in
thing.
FNAF 2, the badge is probably also to be like, this guy was a security guard at some point.
If
I got one. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You first.
Oh, If I am allowed to go back to the Shadow Freddy thing that I was talking about, and like MM87. So under MM87, if Shadow Freddy is the footprints, the very first game that we see Shadow Freddy in?
Yeah, it's FNAF 2.
Yeah.
FNAF
I would
2.
honestly, if it's the idea of like, this is the Fritz Smith night, I could see
That's what I
it.
think.
Especially because it has like the tampering with animatronics, that kind of thing.
Yeah. My only thing is I don't know what. Again, in the same way I have issues like narratively with non-Afton Midnight Motorist, I don't really get what Midnight Motorist 87 is supposed to tell us. Like, okay, someone is like, so everyone that we think is dead by now is already dead, and I guess Michael.
I don't know. Maybe it was trying to tell us that the FNAF 2 location was there. I don't know.
I have an explanation for that. So if it is Midnight Motorist 87, obviously from there we have to. If it's Midnight Motorist 87, that's the problem. I have an explanation if the driver is not William. Okay. And pretty much it's the kidnapping to Freddy's for FNAF 2. It's like, oh yeah, the kids were lured to Freddy's at night.
That would make sense based on how Ralph talks about the DCI in the lead up to the end of FNAF 2.
Whatever's happening out
whatever's
there.
going on out there.
He's not talking about Freddy's. He's not talking about internal issues. He's saying whatever's going on out there, Fazbear Entertainment has nothing to do with it. We're free of all liability. It has nothing to do with us. Just people trying to.
Which implies a kidnapping, and then the bodies were found in the building.
Exactly.
If they were found, because the bite of 87 in the week before is the big thing that is being attributed to that location closing, not missing kids.
Yeah, they're trying to cover it up.
Yeah, although there was a sudden panic, I will say.
Yeah, I guess.
The only reason why I believe MM87 is because what dice has 8 and 7? What is this D&D?
That's why it's so like specific.
Yeah, that is a very specific choice. Yeah.
All right.
Or it's the opposite, and it's 78.
No,
this is later the night after he hit David, dude.
I'm probably gonna...
He hit David and kept going and went home.
I'm gonna have to head out of here, guys. But with a circle, happy birthday, and the rest of you. It was really nice to finally talk to people for the first time.
Thanks for popping
I watched a lot of you, so it's really cool.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome. Yeah,
nice to talk to you.
All right.
This is always the
best.
best.
Great having you on.
Have fun.
Bye, Desk.
Have fun.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
On that point of the DCI kids, this is what still to this day makes me wonder if they even are DCI kids or if it's something else.
It's like a vision or something.
It's something because it's like it's part of. I only started watching your latest video, Gibby, about the
lies
or the lies that the series goes through. And I think
there's a lot of those.
I've
like talked about
that
one.
could be part of it.
The one
but
I'm still mad about.
Yeah, I would almost. You could argue that the FNAF 2 is actually the reverse of that, where the DCI you're supposed to think initially that it's the MCI, and then you realize later, oh wait, no, they're two separate ones.
Yes.
But the only issue with that is it's like, why is there two of them, and why do they never ever become important again? That would be the most damning thing to me, that if they were in any way important or relevant, I don't see why they wouldn't ever be brought up, especially in FNAF 6 or even in the
the closest
or even in
the closest we've gotten is the theory that William Afton killed kids in front of the animatronics because he was desperately trying to get a reaction out of them to see if they were haunted, and that was them proving him
That's
right.
interesting.
But
and then
no matter what, no matter what anyone's given theory is, even if it's lefty DCI, I kind of think that this is something that Scott would have used the Fazbear Frights books to clear up, to have here's the parallel of what happened. Here's a bunch of here's 5 or 6 depending on the blood puddles count of what happened.
I think the movie
that would be if the FNAF 2 movie has
the movie's already not in the game continuity.
If the FNAF 2 movie has an abandoned place with the toys and there were other deaths there, that's gonna
I could see it being like
think
Mike's
that's a
walking
movie.
through the building in like some weird dream sequence, and he sees all the MCI kids like scattered around, and the
Yeah.
If they do
like,
that, then we
Garrett
can
is like
finally say
save
that
them.
there was no DCI.
Yes.
I think they
Yeah.
should. I think they should take a remnant syringe and inject Josh Hutcherson. Give him his T-shot.
Josh
No, not even
Hutcherson?
Mike, just the real Josh Hutcherson.
Ghost
William.
After
testosterone.
Lauren just
Just
takes a
Josh
random
Hutcherson.
syringe.
Bro,
No, yeah, not Mike. Josh
Method
Hutcherson.
acting.
that would be wild.
They should
No,
inject
Josh
Josh
Hutcherson doesn't.
on
Listen, I
set.
will say, Josh Hutcherson does not need to method act. He's been in so many things that have dead kids in them. He knows what to do.
Let me just say, I hope he's Michael Afton. He's such a perfect fit.
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know, I'm not
I
sure.
would be so
He just
mad
looks
if he
so
didn't look
sad.
good.
He's the perfect casting. He's so sad and lost and tired all the time, and it's like, this is my Michael. This
So
is my
this-
boy.
This
Look
was
at this
also
gay
an
little
idea-
man. I love him.
This was also an idea I was toying with the DCI, because we think it's children, but the only thing is that we don't know for sure if they are different sprites than in the other games. They're
Mhm.
also kind of posed like the MCI, the wizards in the back.
Um,
But I was wondering if on the call with Ralph when he says, "Oh, someone used a suit in the back. It was yellow, and none of them are acting right." I was like, could it be that somebody tried to activate Golden Freddy, or Golden Freddy activated because William was there, and then like killed a bunch of staff or something like that, and that's
Either
what the
staff or
result-
and also something from is the thing about the week before is Ralph implicates a lot of the animatronics with being able to do damage. I think both Freddy and Foxy, he talks about biting people.
Foxy never
But
bit a
I
kid.
think with
Yeah.
Foxy specifically, it was like, Foxy, I know Foxy never bit any kids, but here's what I'm thinking is, I know they said like, oh, someone used a yellow suit in the back. Now none of them are acting right. This is the night where he panics. And then the night before the bite, he says, just stay by the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anybody. It is possible
Yeah.
adults died or something.
No, okay, I have
And the
I have
animatronic, but they were
The
done in a
Springlock
way where the
failures that no
animatronics
one talks
where they
about.
blamed the animatronics.
I have a hot take about
And-
this.
The Springlock
Oh,
failures.
with it.
Um,
With it's got a hot.
I'll make this quick. So,
Oh, yeah.
not only do I think that the DCI happened, and I think that the DCI is important to happen so FNAF 2 actually works and it's not weird like toy MCI stuff where they have like Remnant and Agony splitting, which doesn't work.
Oh, there's another way for the toys to work.
which
There's
is
another option. Connie, would you do the
How?
honors?
oh no.
Oh, you know what? Let's let him finish his thought.
Okay, I do want to hear that. I don't want. I do want to
There's two
hear you
words
out.
that you could say that will explain our thoughts on what's
I
going
want
on
to hear
with the
you out.
toys.
Let me just finish this real quick.
Okay.
Um,
So, me
So-
personally,
No. Wait, Connie. He said, I want to hear you out, but let him finish.
Okay.
So, okay, so I think that the DCI is a group of teens breaking into the building because of the week before,
Mhm.
and their sprites being bigger than the kids. Like I
Oh.
compared them. The
And the
evidence,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the movie.
Wrecking Crew DCI.
Exactly. And if the Wrecking Crew in
Question-
FNAF 2 is the DCI, I will be basically fully sold on this theory. I'm never fully sold on a
They
theory.
do put Max and Shadow Freddy.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
They all die by each character that they could
True.
fit in. But that would mean that Carl is going to be Toy Chica, which would
No,
be
no,
freaking hilarious.
No, we're not doing that.
No, wait,
But as
no,
I was
Carl
saying,
was killed by Bonnie. No, sorry, no, Carl. I'm not
Carl
thinking about
was
Carl.
Carl was killed by
No,
the
see,
cupcake.
Okay, no, you know the reason I'm confused is because of the animation.
was
You better put up that computer. Because I used to think it was like, you better put down that computer, Carl, instead of you better hang up that computer, Carl.
The TikTok.
So I thought he was calling
remember?
him Carl. You know, the animation they did with Bonnie in the janitor's closet with Hank of like, you better hang up that computer, Carl. I'm feeling romantical. And then he dies and they edit it into the
Yeah.
trailer and
Oh
it was
my God.
seamless. That's why I got confused. Because
Okay.
at first I thought he said, you better put up that computer, Carl.
yeah, that
no,
was Hank.
Corey, that was Hank.
But as I was saying,
No, that was Hank.
so I
I think I
it's
followed a
teenagers.
single thing that was just said, but that's okay.
Teens breaking in is a very good idea. It's just the thing is, it makes me wonder about like when phone guy is saying what is out, what's happening out there.
And I have like
Yeah.
Is-
the reason that I think
Like
that
it
happens
implies something happens.
is because the teens breaking into the building. It's a common thing that happens in the week before on night 2, I believe. It's either night 2 or 3, where like there's like weird activity of a break-in, and we later find out that that was Bronwyn Light. Like, it looks like someone's broken in. And then
Probably,
Ralph was like,
yeah.
yeah, just teens trying to sneak in and take some trophies. That's why Bonnie's all messed up. And it's just a thing they do. Which implies it's happened
Yeah.
before, which could be the DCI. So that, like,
Mhm.
teens break into the building and William goes and kills them in front of the animatronics to get a reaction like we were talking about. And
Yeah.
technicians see the animatronics acting weird. They
You
see the
know-
animatronics acting
It's-
weird, and they're like,
know,
wait, we need
my
to,
thought
like...
is,
Sure.
the reason they could think the animatronics are to blame, and why they would blame the animatronics and
Exactly.
be like, just keep an eye on them,
It's because they were moving.
is they were programmed with a criminal database. If people are breaking in, it's possible that
That's
either they
true.
saw them as a criminal or they were
Or
already
William.
on the criminal database and they were like, oh, we programmed them to defend against criminals and they just killed a bunch of people. And that would be why it's either more hush-hush or less like big as Bite of 87
Yeah.
is because with the Bite of
Oh.
87, Jeremy Fitzgerald was completely innocent. But with the people in Save Them, it could be a bunch of teens or something that could have had a criminal record or could be considered criminals via breaking in, and they were
Oh.
like, "Oh shit,
Mike?
that was just their criminal shit going haywire."
Yeah, that makes
Also,
sense.
And William was like, "Oh
Mike?
shit, I got away with
Which
that."
is why the
if-
toys are
Yeah,
scrapped.
yeah.
Which is why the toys are scrapped. They're scrapped
Mhm.
because the facial
Maybe.
recognition software is faulty because they just killed a bunch of random people, according to Fazbear, when it was actually William.
I always
Either
thought
either they killed a bunch of random people, or they were like, "Oh, these guys were criminals, so at least they were doing what we programmed them to do." And then the reason Bite of 87 was so big is he wasn't a criminal. You know, he was just a random guy, and they're like, "Okay, it's fucking faulty. We need to get rid of these."
If a
Mm.
bunch
I
of
always
teens
thought-
are like wandering around town, right? Like they're not going to tell their parents, "Hey guys, we're going to go break into Freddy's now."
Yeah.
So all the town is concerned is that a bunch of five teenagers, five buddies walking away, hanging out at night, just disappeared. So when Phone Guy says, "Oh,
always
whatever's going
thought-
on out there has nothing to do with
Mhm.
what's in here," that does fit. That does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
always
so
thought the
just
reason-
to make this clear, we're on a Midnight
That's why
Motorist
Toy Freddy's
stream.
a
We've been here
game,
for
right?
about 2 hours. We solved like nothing of Midnight Motorist, but we've just solved the DCI. Like, what's up with
Well,
that?
of course we didn't.
Forgot this was about
Okay,
Midnight
that-
Motorist.
Well, we got into that very interesting conversation
But
at Midnight
I kept
Motorist.
trying to
like,
bring it
Genius
back
could very
to-
well be FNAF
Also,
too.
Susie's
I do
dog.
like, if Midnight Motorist is 87, I do think that they're related. So like I think that this
Wait.
is still Midnight Motorist adjacent.
Yeah,
I don't
so
necessarily
currently,
wait,
that
if-
is the
Yeah,
theory.
because
I
the
tried
fact
to
that
bring it
Juniors
back,
could
there
be
was the
FNAF
setup, what do
2
you say?
is actually pretty big.
What if
Yeah.
what if the runaway is a DCI victim and he's
No.
running away and acting out because his dad's abusive?
Mike
Yeah.
is a DCI victim.
returned.
No, we're doing Afton MM. I'm sorry.
What
I
if-
know Gibby disagrees, but I'm doing Afton MM. I just think that
Um,
there was enough
But
evidence.
Corey brought up. Sorry.
No. I
sorry.
just wanted to say
This
it's
is a whole
quick
thing to get into, but
that Afton MM had enough evidence that I was willing to put aside, but 5 Laps at Freddy's was just a straw that broke the camel's back, and so now I'm Afton MM. But go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was
So-
very, like, sometimes, and I feel like it is kind of ridiculous how with certain things, we end up needing the word confirmation. Like in the week before when they were like, yeah, Chica, Susie, Jeremy, Bonnie. It's like, I mean, yeah, we did know that, but it is kind of a little ridiculous that, like, like, at a certain point, I
The
think
fact
Scott likes to make himself be very clear with things, and I feel like 5 Laps
fact
at
that
Freddy's
it
was him
was-
being like, it was at least him telling us it was Afton in the car.
And still hasn't been removed either.
the
Yeah.
fact that it was
Unlike the one
confirmed
sprite
for
that people
show-
love to bring up that was removed, unlike other things in Security Breach. But I
Corey.
digress. I know. Sorry, she's holding me back consistently.
So this is
I
back
am hurt.
entirely just on Midnight Motorist base, but everyone who thinks it's a grave in the woods, what do they think that the
Yeah.
outline is? Is it a grave and breaking ground for a house, or is that just a clearing? Or
The
could
outline is
very-
Lapser in the original.
It could
minigame.
be.
The original.
The original.
the original?
It's a
The
mass grave for
other
the DCI.
option- The other option, because this is FNAF 6, and there was absolutely ideas for this because of the one poster within FNAF 6, it could very well be the clearing that Fall Fest takes place at. Because and that doesn't stop
what I
that from
was
being the
thinking.
grave. For all we know, the kid was buried at Fall Fest. But Fall Fest does seemingly take place near enough the Afton house that, in Dreadbear they have it so you can see it. It takes place near a red lake, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The only thing is,
it's
like, why that
possible.
would
My
be in
thought is
FNAF
it's the clear as well as because a lot of people, the reason people think it's the grave is because of FNAF World, where you go to a seemingly random spot in the woods, and it's like, okay, you did it, you solved everything. I'm going to say the crying child thing. I put you back together, etc. It's all done. But also, even that area in FNAF World has a lot of similarities to Fall Fest, where I believe it has the same windmill, and it has a lot of other similarities to the usual buildings around Fall Fest. So it's very possible that clearing is the Fall Fest clearing.
Corey.
Okay. I don't.
They buried the crying child under where the carousel was because that was his favorite ride.
Necessarily believe this, but Pat Plays in the comments just said that the patch of ground is a lake that dried up, revealing a drowned kid, and I think that's actually an interesting thread to pull.
Maybe.
Drowning.
We found her.
Yeah, the old man consequences lake.
I don't know about a lake that dried up, but that could be interesting. It also could be interesting if someone if you threw a body into a lake, it's not impossible that it could get covered up on its own.
I was thinking about, someone brought up the twisted animatronics like burying themselves recently, and I know that's gone around for a long while, but it does make me think that this mound may have been more recently disturbed rather than something that's like always buried like this. Like, could it be that whatever it was, like,
I mean, if it is Mike Runaway and that is the place he's going, then it is very possible that.
Well, I wonder if this is showing not where he goes, but where whatever took him came from. Like,
Oh yeah, maybe.
Like it's showing something was buried out here.
I think when we go down that path, it's more like trying to take the minigame as literal as possible. When we do have to remember, like, if it was like an old pile of dirt, the reason it's highlighted is just because we're supposed to look at it, not necessarily that it's like
it is highlighted for this is one of those things where it is highlighted for a reation.
Highlighted being a relative term, considering it's so hard to see.
But
Sir Cypher, you were gonna say something there?
Oh, I have a genius idea that I just thought about. So, what if Bite Victim was buried in the mound, but that was where the Fall Fest took place?
Yes.
So he keeps them in the same place. Well, Afton keeps them in the same place because it's where he started. It's what molded him to, who he is. Not that he's a sympathetic villain, but it's to remind him what he does and why he does what he does. Because this is where he started.
Well, Connie was saying it's possible he was buried. Connie was saying, and this is very much a story idea, but one of the specific things in the logbook, the specific questions was your favorite ride the carousel, which no one brought up in Help Wanted 2 when we see the Fall Fest carousel, which heavily the only carousel we see in a FNAF location is FNAF 2, which is well after Crying Child is dead. Which means the carousel we see with Sun and Moon was Crying Child's favorite ride, and not enough people bring up the weight of that when it comes to that mini game.
Yeah.
But long story short, Connie was saying it's possible he was buried under where the carousel was because it was his favorite. But I mean, that's there's no concrete evidence for that.
That goes with the idea that I have, right? That I said that Bite Victim is buried where the Fall Fest is because it's Afton. So you know how I'll give you an example. A villain keeps something around to remind them what they do, or why they do what they do. I think the Fall Fest, that's where it was, but Bite Victim was buried where the carousel was.
If they went that way since then, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But the only thing is that we didn't know about Fall Fest when FS came out. Spookfest is on one poster, but it's
and Spookfest, but the Spookfest poster shows up in the Dreadbear DLC within the barn during Fall Fest.
I'm sure they're the same, but what I mean
as well
is,
as the Spookfest poster shows up behind.
Corey, can you let people talk?
Yeah. Okay.
No.
It's all good. It's all good. The only thing is, like, the Spookfest had no at the time. Like, I think what happened was Spookfest was like an idea maybe Scott had, but he then like took that idea and ran with it to make it something important. Wwhereas at the time, when the game came out, being the quote unquote end of the series, There was nothing that we could look at that and go, "Oh, that patch of dirt must exactly be where the one poster from this game."
Right.
You know what I mean?
personally definitely agree with that because I think Scott, as a storyteller, a lot of times has left like loose threads open that he didn't necessarily have plans for, but wanted to go back and pick them up.
That's what he said
But
the
I don't
box
think
was,
FNAF
right?
6 was the place for that. Like this was,
Yeah.
everything was supposed to be
Just finding
tying
them.
up the loose threads instead of making more loose threads to reach out to.
I mean, I
later.
think Scott knew there was probably going to be more,
Yeah,
or
I'd say he
could very
was
well be
already
more in the
thinking.
series. So he was like, well, maybe we can do something with this fucking helpy thing. Maybe, like, I think he had left certain things open or certain things to expand on, because he figured, there was probably going to be some kind of more.
Yeah, I can see him sort of having that idea early on, but I think like with what was Candy was saying, like he's planting seeds for things that he can later go to. But
Although I will say, as well as the question of was your favorite ride the carousel is in the security logbook, which came out right after FNAF 6.
Exactly, and I feel like those books, like the
well, the
logbook and folk closet,
carousel
are meant to solve something.
more. I've got more evidence for Fredbear's
Well,
being the FNAF 2 location.
That's
the
what
only
I
place
was
we ever
gonna
saw
say
carousel.
Yes, but I was saying that's the only place you've ever seen a carousel. However, that FNAF 2 location was open well after the crying child's already dead. So I don't think that's
Yes,
the
but
carousel they're referring to.
maybe
is
they
a carousel.
imported the same carousel, or like it's the idea is that
The
like they had a
idea,
carousel
yeah.
and they changed
Wait.
it to fit.
I don't know.
Well, it's
that,
very
that
small,
carousel
but,
has
you
the
know.
originals, right? Not the
So
toys.
speaking of
Am I right?
carousels,
Yes.
speaking of carousels, that does actually circle us back to what Corey was saying with the DCI theory. Is one thing I noticed when I read
thought
the
we were talking
Silver Eyes.
wait, let's talk about this one. This is interesting.
No, I know, but one thing I noticed when we read the Silver Eyes was that they did have a carousel in the Silver Eyes Freddy's.
Yeah.
With
wait.
and a lot of the characters were like, "Oh yeah, we loved the carousel," which is interesting because there just wasn't one in the initial game.
I mean, maybe there was. Maybe we just never saw it. We've never seen 85 in detail, and Into the Pit is sketchy at best. I think it's in the games.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people disagree with. I think it's in the games, but I still think we cannot rely on it as a definitive 1985 Freddy's. But I just wanted to say, I don't know, I kind of zoned out for like a minute there. So I don't know if anyone brought this up, but did anyone bring up the Help Wanted 2 carousel that's clearly in Fall Fest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We were
Yes,
saying
that's
that
what
might
Great.
be
That
the
is
Crying
probably
Child's
what they're
carousel.
referring to by the crying child's favorite ride.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering because I kind of, I don't know, I just kind of zone out during streams. So sorry.
No, that's fair. I do that all the
Which
time.
I will mention now. I never connected this. Carousel Crying Child's favorite ride in the stained glass window in the most recent like DLC for Help Wanted 2. They very much connect normal Bonnie to a moon and Golden Freddy to a sun, and the carousel is the one where sun shows up. And I don't know what that means, but that is a definite like Golden Freddy to Sun to like Crying Child to Carousel to Sun to Golden Freddy back to Crying Child connection, which is interesting.
I wanna test something out. I'm gonna go quiet for a little bit, but I actually coincidentally got Help Wanted 2 today, so I want to check out the carousel real quick because I'm curious. I want to see if I can find anything.
It has the toys.
I want to see.
See if you can dual stream it to us as well as your stream.
No,
so that we can see
I
it
haven't
in
set up
real
like
time.
the like streaming to my PC yet. Like I got this today,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna do that
That's
like
fair.
over the weekend probably. So I do want to do a Help Wanted 2 stream.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, I haven't done that now. I'll just keep you posted if I see anything.
Yeah, the carousel I think was when I first saw it in the trailers, my first thought was, oh my god, when they said, wasn't your favorite ride the carousel? It didn't make sense to me because FNAF 2 was the only part where we saw it. But now this makes sense because this was a place that his dad was definitely somewhat involved with, and he, like that kind of thing. Well, also, Connie will point this out as well, in VIP, where you have the precocious older brother with the younger brother that he wants to get rid of and eventually gets kidnapped and taken away, his favorite ride is the carousel, the little brothers. So that is something.
I will say,
He abandons him at the carousel, yeah.
As far as there not being a carousel in FNAF 4, we technically don't see any sort of place in Fredbear's. We don't see any arcade machines, so we wouldn't even see a room that would house a carousel.
Yeah.
So like if If anything, I think the logbook is
have
kind of
something to point
hinting
out.
like there is one.
Maybe
something to
it's
point out
also
about the
it would
carousel.
also be interesting because apparently Crying Child hates Fredbear's and hates being there, but that also might be a more recent development, and he's still chill with the carousel.
Here's a reason that he'd like the one that is in FNAF 2. It's all of the classics. It's not the toys. It's got Red Foxy, Blue Bunny, Brown Freddy.
Which is interesting because the Help Wanted 2 one is all the toys. So like,
yeah,
no, it's not all the toys. It also has the
and
toys.
It's some of the toys. Funtime
but
Foxy.
that's what I mean. If
and Witter, do you mind if I just quickly say something and then we can continue? I just wanted to because I just logged into the game. Something worth pointing out is that in the carousel level in Help Wanted 2, when you look at the sky, it's red, which is a very similar shade of red to FNAF 4's red, which I think is worth pointing out.
It ends in Fall Fest.
And this is also with and the Fall Fest going on fire. Which and again, the thing is, well, what's sorry, I hold on to that thought because I do want to say real quick something that I tend to forget sometimes with theorizing about stuff in the more recent games is that there is a current storyline that they are laying the seeds of, and sometimes there are things where it's like they might tell us this later. You know, like with with the Fall Fest fire, probably. I mean, we've seen. I mean, we might get an answer for what the fuck was going on there. I would be surprised, but God, if we are playing goddamn Secret of the Mimic and we can see Crying Child on the carousel, I'm gonna cry. I'll become the crying child.
I'm gonna be the crying child.
And I'm not even a child. Yeah, and we're not even children. I'm goddamn 20. I'm gonna be legal to drink in April, and I will be crying.
Anything we want.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm expecting.
But like,
I can't football for Charlie Brown night. I promise I'll hold it. Go ahead.
It's gonna be 4 hours of running away from Jackie, and there's gonna be some like whiteboards on the side.
Yeah, you have to dodge the secret cannon.
Yeah, put bombs in your
belongings in your
Anyway,
belongings.
it's not gonna say anything about the books. It's not gonna say anything about literally anything that we care about, and people are gonna be disappointed. And then 3 years from now, it's gonna be a bunch of video essays like "Secret of the Mimic was good, actually."
Yeah.
Will it have flat mode?
It won't be good until I have to dodge a secret cannon.
I think it will be a good video game, whether it has lore or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I do think about what was the Right Toast quote that he was talking about where he was like, unless in Secret of the Mimic they're gonna have like Henry be there, and he's like, Charlie, go get your brother Sammy, then the void will be broken. And then we're fucked if that happens. Which I think that's the whole purpose of drowning is to reveal that Sammy is not a thing. The novel trilogy is the only universe where Charlie didn't absorb her twin in the womb. In the game verse, she absorbed him.
Yeah, everyone in the comments is saying the audio is bad.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
now.
jump ship to sacrifice to the bandwidth gods. So
yeah, the bandwidth gods need to be appeased. They need another sacrifice. We already seem to be stabilizing, but like I think this might be more internet and less bandwidth. Even though my internet hasn't gone down since the beginning of the stream, it's been stable the whole time.
That's all good. It's easier as well when there's less people to
Do you have an Ethernet port option?
I'm like router right now. Like I still haven't gotten to like advanced internet stuff. So like my internet is rickety at best.
I have an Ethernet cord buried somewhere, but thankfully I haven't needed it. The only reason is because like here's the thing: my college Wi-Fi can be shitty, but they have 3 of them, and all of them are from like different sources. So if one's failing, you can switch to the other one.
My internet provider just sucks, so that's pretty much the explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have college Wi-Fi. I'm shocked my Wi-Fi is this good when it comes to college stuff.
Like, well, they have a whole gamer Wi-Fi.
They have. Well, it's part of it is because the campus Wi-Fi, the one for because there's a guest Wi-Fi and then the one for students, but it's locked. And a lot of gaming systems, all of the Switch, at least for a bit, you couldn't access locked stuff because there was no way to input a password. So they made one specifically for gaming that didn't have any password.
You can do
lock.
that now.
And they still have it. But I think it's like because we have a game design like section here at the college. So at this point, it's important because it's probably a good thing that the game design people are not sharing a Wi-Fi with the people in the communications building that are trying to do normal work, you know?
Yeah. But, while we're talking carousel, the DCI thing you want, was, we have like a little,
Is our boy coming?
huh?
Yeah.
Hello,
Oh my god, a boy!
There he is.
A boy! Hello!
What the
Hello?
fuck?
If
Yeah,
you're
we
talking,
were
we
just
can't hear you.
talking. We were just talking. Yeah, we can't hear you, but we were just talking
We were
DCI.
just
I brought my
talking about
lefty
you.
plush.
All good things, all good things.
Speak and he shall arrive.
Oh, chat.
Yes.
Just so you know,
Yeah.
Well,
just so
we
you
mentioned
know,
we mentioned Lefty DCI enough.
just so you know,
It's
this is
like,
not
it's
the
like
server where
Beetlejuice. You
this
say it 3 times and he appears.
the server where this call is being held isn't the FNAF Cool Kids Discord server. I made a separate Discord server. Our FNAF Cool Kids Discord server is like way bigger. We've got like 50 people on there. I just sectioned this
Yeah,
off.
because
so
then
it's
like
easier.
25,000 people would have stealth joined and your computer would have exploded.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Look, my PC can barely handle the 12 of you that were there at one point. I was like, oh, my PC. I'm withering. Well, good to have you here, T-Dreads.
But
I think we should wrap up soon.
Yeah, I'm
just
at
because it's getting a
Taco
bit
Bell right
late
now.
for me. But we can still go for like another half
yeah,
hour.
probably. Okay. Yeah. What?
Connie,
me and
maybe
Corey
we
have, like,
shouldn't. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this during this stream. Then
Okay.
I think we've talked about it before,
Yeah, I think we mentioned it before.
or we can hold on to it.
I
for
just have a
now.
lot of
It's a
thoughts on
whole
the
thing.
DCI.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, and I don't want to take it.
We should just make a DCI mega collab.
Mhm.
Who's up for another DCI stream? Just a big DCI stream.
I'm down.
Probably cryo.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm down.
What is
Chat,
going on
prepare for
with
the DCI
them?
stream.
He put them in Carney.
Derail everything.
We should stay on Midnight
DCI
Motorist.
stream, but it's Corey making the DCI on The Sims.
Did you guys
Hi,
solve Midnight
back to
Motorist?
Midnight Motorist.
We barely talked about it.
We barely talked about Midnight Motorist.
Hell yeah.
Look,
No, we did.
To
We
be
talked
fair,
about Midnight
to be
Motorist.
fair, we
dressed
talked about
over
the
an hour on the
mound.
screen.
We came to a good explanation for the mound. We talked about juniors and we talked about Green
Mhm.
Afton, which is the best Midnight Motorist theory of all time. We also talked
True,
a
true,
little
true,
bit about the
14
runaway.
trees.
And we
40
talked
trees.
so I was just thinking about like what we
Wait,
haven't
what'd you
talked
say was in the
about.
mound?
Huh?
Listen, guys, I just think it's raining in Midnight Motorist to help tell us that it's taking place in Hurricane, Utah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hurricane
true.
Utah and it's
Hurricane.
constant
Hurricane
rains.
theory.
Boy thinks
Yeah.
that it's raining to tell us that
And
rain
yet,
is coming
it's
from the
called
sky.
Hurricane Utah, and yet no hurricanes happen in FNAF, except for that like
Suspicious.
10-year-old Minecraft roleplay where a hurricane
Twisted
happened, and they
Ones.
all had to stay in the high school, and FNAF characters broke in every night.
No,
And
in,
Foxy walked up, and he was like, "What are we gonna do, boss?" I'll never forget that. I'll never
Twisted
forget when they
Ones-
made Foxy talk like that
in
to Freddy.
Twisted
I
Ones,
watched
there's
that.
a
Yeah, there's a
hurricane.
big storm in Twisted Ones.
In Twisted Ones, there's a
Apparently, it's
hurricane.
pronounced more like Hurricane.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's pronounced
it's
hurricane.
hurricane.
It's pronounced
Hurricane.
hurricane.
What the fuck?
It's so weird. I
What
don't
did you
know.
guys do was in the
Utahns
mound?
are
Those goofy
weird.
Utah people.
Why are Utah people
Utah are
like
so
this?
silly.
It's the altitude. It's making all of them gay.
Okay, let's ignore you guys. Okay.
That one was for Connie. That one was for Connie. Connie knows what I'm talking about.
If anyone to see the fucking Reddit post, oh my god. But
Long story
The-
short, guy went on a trip to Utah, claimed the altitude of the high mountains made him gay and cheat.
That's not what Utah's supposed to do. Utah's supposed to turn you into a Mormon and make you like.
Yeah, and yet it didn't work on William Afton. I mean, William Afton went on a.
okay,
there was
I
an
do want to bring this up.
William Afton went on the anti-missionary trip to Utah.
I want to
He was
bring
going
this
to go
up
there to
because this
convince
was
people
said
to
in
do
chat
sin.
like an hour and a half ago, and I just completely forgot to tell anyone. But someone said
Oh?
that in Utah, bars are like they don't really have bars. They more have like private sort of party areas that are like rented out or whatever. And they kind of just don't do public alcohol consumption. I take what this person says with
I
a grain
can
of salt.
see
I've
that.
never
No,
been
that
to
kinda
Utah.
tracks
You're mostly Mormon.
So-
Mormonism is
Google
there, then I
Maps,
can
Hurricane
see that,
Utah
yeah.
bar. Let's see.
Do we think Scott knows that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's also
Scott has to know.
Yeah, what Scott lives in Texas. I don't think he knows that because it's Texas, so
And
there's
why
probably
would
a
he
bar.
set
There's probably a
historian
bar
data?
around
maybe
every
that's
corner.
why.
Out of
Maybe that's
all
why Green
states.
guy kicks him out because it's in Utah and he's not allowed in.
Green
He's not part
Mormon
of the Fuel
Fury.
Club.
we don't
Green
let
Mormon
Mormons in
Fury,
here.
guys.
Green Mormon. Oh my gosh.
Green
right,
Afton is a Mormon.
Well, it's like how you know how.
Unironically, it looks like there aren't any bars in Hurricane. There is a place called Mike's Pizza. That's But
My jet
also,
theory
please,
is so
please, for the
real
love of
right
God,
now.
people do not like call this place or anything like that. Please do not do that. But yeah, it does not look like there's any bars.
God.
It might be a dry place. I don't know.
That's interesting. Well, it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
again, Mormons are kind of strict about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that does bring up the very important question of which FNAF characters are Mormon and which ones aren't.
yeah, I will say, what was it that someone was talking about Midnight Motorist, and they were like, but it's in Utah. Why is there so many trees? If you look up both Hurricane and Harmony, Utah, there are forests. There's trees there. They have big forests.
Hurricane looks like such
I don't
a
know.
boring old
Because
town.
I made a bit when I made a bit
big
once.
mountain.
I imposed pixels of Crying Child onto actual images of forests within Hurricane, Utah. Because I thought it was funny.
Was that for the trees of green trees there too?
Yeah. I am lost in these woods.
Can I just say
There's
this?
a national park,
too.
and it has a
That's
big
what I
mound
came
in the
back
middle
to.
of the park. Now, the
No.
big mound is called Molly's Nipple, but we do
Hell
have
yeah!
we do
Come on,
have
what?
We have one
trees.
of those in Ohio.
We have trees in a mound.
We have our in
What?
Ohio. We have a Tower
good
of Babel. They call it Rex's Erection.
Not
What did I
officially,
come
but
back to?
Yeah, I gotta
you,
pick up
you
my
Americans
tacos.
are weird.
Everyone, crash with their stream with 14. Crash your stream.
No, my
Stream.
bandwidth. Oh, my PC. Oh, T-Dread's left. That was his final message.
Yeah, he said he had to pick up his tacos or something.
Have you heard his banger
Oh,
song?
he's doing the Taco Bell scam again.
Yep.
Only true T-Dreadzers know what the Taco Bell scam is.
The T and T Dread stands for taco.
That's a banger song.
The Taco Bell scam will live on in history. I will not share this information here because I don't want to prejudice his Taco Bell pyramid scheme.
It is so good.
What's the scam? How's it work? Walk us through it.
Okay, I'll just tell you. So basically what T-Dreads does is
Yeah.
he gets himself a taco from Taco Bell, and it comes to his house. And once he gets the taco, he puts like some random condiment on it, something that is easily removable. So he'll put like some cream or some mayo or whatever that he didn't ask for. And what he'll do is he'll take a picture of the taco, he'll send it to Taco Bell or whatever, and say,
Oh my
"Man, you
God.
messed up my order." They'll refund him, and he just removes the condiment.
So actual fraud.
Actual
Understand.
fraud.
Damn.
I love.
I exposed you, T-Dreads.
Hey, if there are any cops on this stream, no, there isn't.
No, there isn't.
No, there is.
This never happened.
T-Dreads
There's no
new
fraud
song.
going on.
Carlton's dad, get out of
The
here.
only fraud.
T Dread's unreleased song is going to make him so much money he won't have to scam Taco Bell anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is so
Look,
good.
to be fair, I
It
think
is
like
so funny.
when we were
Honestly, here's the thing. It's Taco Bell. They're a multimedia
They're
like
fine.
huge mega
Like,
corporation.
if it was, like,
What
a
are they gonna-
small-
they're fine.
if it was a small location, I'd be kind of pissed at him. Like I wouldn't.
Yeah, then I
condone
would
that.
be pissed. I would be like, "What the hell, man?" But like, it's Taco Bell. Who
Yeah, it's
cares?
Taco Bell, they're fine.
like sucks.
It's
but, like,
Taco Bell.
I think that like he was kind of joking. I think he's only pulled this like twice. I don't think he does it. I don't think this is like a regular thing he does. Because if it was, that'd be super
I like to think he
suspicious.
does it every
Let's do
night.
it right now.
No snitches, guys.
Writing notes right now.
The bell tolls.
Taking
Every
notes.
meal.
Every meal. I don't know how they haven't
Just
caught on
every
yet.
meal he has is Taco Bell.
Well, he has 70 alternative accounts and uses each one of them for saying, "Hey, that you got my
T-Dreads
order
1,
wrong."
T-Dreads 2, T-Dreads 3, T-Dreads 4.
Yeah, and
Oh,
70.
taking
He owns
notes,
7. He
T-Dreads.
actually, it's not saving money because he has to own 70 different homes to send the orders to, so that they don't catch on to him.
It's all part of T-Dreads hustle.
We are like
Cryo says he does
Exposing
it
him
once a week.
on live television
We're exposing his Taco Bell.
to the cops.
Okay. You know what? We're running near the. Okay, I have an idea. We're running near a 2.5-hour mark, which is where I kind of want to cap it
Maybe
off.
that's what's going on with Midnight Motorist. He just got finished doing an Uber Eats
Yeah,
in the 80s. You know, the common 80s
William
Uber
Afton
Eats.
is the Uber driver.
So,
God, I hope not. He sucks.
yeah,
He's gonna run over my dog.
so what we should do,
Alright, I'm sorry. I'm with
I
you.
think that
He's
we
gonna
should,
go
to
run
cap
over
off
my
the
dog.
stream,
My kid, my wife.
fellas.
He's gonna run over
His
my
wife.
toaster. His wife. And then he's gonna drive into a lake.
Unworthy.
And I won't
Take
get my
four.
food because he'll run it over. He'll take out my Uber thing, the bag that I can't talk. He'll take it out
he'll put it in front of his car and then run it over
There's
and
a
then leave.
ball.
Like, what am I gonna do about
Corey,
it?
I think the root beer's gotten to
He's
your,
fucking twisted,
system.
man. He's a twisted killer.
Okay.
All right.
Of dinner.
Okay, I have an idea for the end
Unwithered.
of the stream.
I'm sorry, you had something to say?
If you don't mind, we've been running for about 2 hours and a half, so I have an idea. We will take turns, just like doing like a 2-minute recap, let's say, of what we think Midnight Motorist is about, like the mound, the runaway, whatever.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's keep it short, just so we can like wrap things up quick.
Can me and Connie do it together, and can we get like 4 minutes because it's 2 of us?
Yeah, okay, that's
Corey.
fair. Corey and Connie can start, and they get 5 minutes. I'll be generous. I'll be timing this, by the way.
Damn, that's generous. You're so niceies to us.
Well, I personally am a basic bitch. I think it's Afton's the driver. Mike saw the ghost of like the Golden Freddy, Shadow Freddy ghost outside his window, went to go see his brother's grave or whatever.
Or follow it,
Or follow it. And
either the grave or Junior's if it is a FNAF 2 thing.
And William was just like, oh, that's shitty. I'm going to put him in the nightmare
I'm gonna go
chamber.
put him back into the nightmare gas, so he can become
Put him in the torture labyrinth.
Perfect FNAF warrior.
Yeah, I'm a I know that's like the basic interpretation, but like, yeah, that's
sometimes
that's
the
one that
simplest
just makes more
answer
sense to me.
is the correct
It's so
one.
good.
Sure.
It
Alright,
is so
yeah, that's
good.
all I got.
That it? Was that your 5 minutes?
Yeah, that was our 5 minutes.
Okay.
I was
Thank you for the very
See,
quick
we had
5
to do
minutes.
this with a group. We had to do this with a group project where it was mostly 2 people, but my one group ended up with 3 people, so we got like an extra few minutes because it was 3 of us.
Oh, so now you're used to.
Yeah, so that's why I
Alright.
suggested it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Candy.
Sure, Candy can go next if you don't mind.
Sure, yeah. Although I am just deeply conflicted about Midnight Motorist and didn't come in with a very predetermined idea and haven't left with a very solid idea. It seems like they are doubling down on William being the Midnight Motorist driver. Like, I think it probably would have been removed by the second version if we weren't supposed to have that Easter egg. And at the same time, every time I try to make him the driver, I'm like, wow, it just doesn't work as well as it being an MCI victim. Because it doesn't feel like it helps wrap up FNAF 6 at all. And the story there, it feels like it makes more loose threads, and all the other minigames in FNAF 6 are so straightforward. It's like, this just tells me the puppet is Charlie. This just shows me an MCI killings. But it's like, this one is the secret story about how in the timeline and there's somebody in a grave and who's in the grave, and there's just so many different random details. And so I have no conclusion at this particular moment.
And if I can interject for a little bit, it may be of like, it doesn't make good sense to you when William is the driver. It might just be more like a, oh well, this, it's the kind of realization of like, oh well, this might just not, the storyline might just like suck to me. It's like, oh, this isn't as interesting as I thought, kind of thing.
Or it could just be that Scott is bad at conveying what's in his head sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we all get that. As an artist, yeah.
Okay.
And Connie's a writer, so she gets it.
Next up,
Okay,
most controversial one on the stream probably, Gibby.
All right, let's go with this.
Hey,
All
Gibby,
right, now,
instead of
as-
talking about
yeah,
Midnight
well,
Motorist, can you tell us about Brigadoon again?
Oh my gosh, can you just watch my video to see that?
I already did!
Yeah. So if anyone
I want
hasn't
to hear
seen
it
my
again! I want to hear about Brigadoon again!
Oh, welcome back, Unlimited.
Brigadoon. Anyway,
Brigadoon!
Oh,
so
bye,
my
Oh, there it goes.
my Midnight Motorist theory came to me in a dream, and then I researched it and found out it was already a theory. So that's cool.
Epic.
Anyway, I think
We
that
call it
you
a dream
play
theory.
as the father of one of the MCI victims. You're speeding down the road. You're drunk. That's why you're getting kicked out of juniors, because you reach your local limit. So you're speeding down the road. It's not raining. It's at midnight. You then start going home. It is now later that night. It is now after midnight. It has now started to rain. You drive home. You drive past this clearing in the woods where they're building a house, which is why there's a house-shaped pile of disturbed ground, and that they are breaking ground on the house, which is what the mound of dirt is. You try to go to juniors, and they're like, dude, we already kicked you out. You reach your limit. You say, okay, you go home. You want to go and beat up your son because you're a jerk. Your son loves going to that Freddy Fazbear's place, and one of the employees there, Mr. Willie Afton, saw you being abusive to him the other day, and so he knows this is a vulnerable child.
Green.
So you go in, you see your wife. Your wife is watching TV, and you say, "Where's the boy? I want to beat him up." And your wife says, "Leave him alone." You go and check on him. The door's locked, so you go outside. You see some footprints that indicate that William Afton had been there to lure your child outside, so they broke the window to go off to that place again, which is Freddy's. And you say, oh, he's going to be in for it when he gets back. But then he never comes back because he got killed in the MCI, and you're all sad forever. And that's Midnight Motorist.
Even though you were gonna beat him up.
Just because you're gonna beat up your son.
I will repeat. I love
him deep down.
I love the common Scott thread of he's like, I need to make this character a bad person. They're gonna be a bad parent because that's scary. Because Scott's like, I love my sons, but what if I didn't? That's scary.
Shadow Scott be like, I hate my kids.
Shadow Scott, evil Shadow Scott, I hate my sons.
I think, Gibby, do you think that it's the father of either Fritz or Jeremy, or is that a completely separate tangent that we went on?
I don't have a strong opinion about who it is. I could totally see an argument for Fritz or Jeremy, because arguably they're both actually juniors. And then I could also see... I could also see an argument that's cast to be because she's special, but yeah.
If you're arguing that it is an MCI, I think the strongest would be Fritz because Foxy's the runner.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that too.
Yep.
Foxy's the runner that tries to break down your door.
Oh my God,
so like,
I didn't think about that.
You're the one who runs away. Ooh, interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. But yeah,
Foxy is the one who knocks.
I do
and
love
then walks
this
away
idea.
very sad and just, I think, can someone mod real-time FNAF for when Foxy's doing his sad walk away animation? He can have like a, like a dog whine. I think that would enhance it a lot.
The root beer's in your system. I think you need to calm down a bit.
As much as I'm not convinced by the Midnight Motorist in FNAF thing with the antenna bobble or the description that's not even like actually shown in game. I do think that the dice are very, very interesting because nowhere else in the series could the creators of FNAF have come up with 87. Because like Midnight Motorist being about William Afton is in the encyclopedia. The encyclopedia says no one knows what Midnight Motorist is. Some people think it's William Afton. Some people think it's an MCI runaway. Like both of these theories are in that book. And so I totally think it's possible that the creators of FNAF just picked one and thought that was canon. But the 87 thing is fascinating. Why would they have just made that up?
The FNAF 2 theory really intrigues me then because, again, as people pointed out, the footsteps are leading towards Juniors. If Juniors is FNAF 2, we know Mike did end up there. He worked a night there and got paid for it and immediately fired. So it's... And this was also a place that had a lot of tension, and also Will would not want him going towards, potentially of like, he's going back to fucking, that place again. I'm gonna, putting him in the nightmare gas chambers when he's back. Also a place with a very, maybe some of the most we've seen Golden Freddy, which would make sense if it was Golden Freddy who would be luring Mike there, because Mike's like, oh shit, what the hell? Like that would be the most intriguing or the most consistent to what would be going on with Mike.
Hey,
Or
actually,
maybe we're
so I think that theory, although I'm not, maybe so.
We're overthinking everything in the 87 is just because haha bite of 87 funny.
Well, and it is one of the few things that answers why it's called Juniors and why Juniors is literally highlighted. Where if it's the FNAF 2 location, then you could, quote unquote, it's the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It's the son of Freddy Fazbear's.
Michael bought a restaurant, and he's the junior of William.
He dreads.
Yes, because that was the roundabout point I said.
It's your turn. You tell us your Midnight Motorist thought.
It's my turn?
Yep, you go.
Yay!
Now that you're in.
Wait, is it?
Yes, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be Cypher's turn because of the order.
Sing us your song.
Yeah, no, I just went random.
kidding.
Cypher, you go after
I don't have
T-Dreads.
autotune.
Unless T-Dreads talks about 14 Fury or something. Then we'll cut him short.
Sing us your song, Candle Boy.
I think that the yellow guy is William. I hate
Never unheard of.
No.
He said that.
Crazy.
And I think
Unheard
that
of.
the
He's
guy on the
insane.
couch-
Y'all, we should kill this guy.
I think the guy on the couch is probably either Henry or Mrs. Afton.
Ooh.
And I think that Michael ran away because Bite Victim is freaking dead. And I think that Juniors, I don't even know what the fuck Juniors is.
That's so real.
I
like
say,
how this
the
began
kid runs
as
to
like
the
a
grave, but
normal-ish.
the footsteps don't even go there. The footsteps
This
go.
was like a normal-ish
the footsteps
explanation.
go upward.
Well, I think the footsteps could potentially lead to the grave, but I don't know if I'm
Did he fucking
remembering the map
backwards long
correctly.
jump there through the trees?
Because the grave is. Hold on, let me check the map. Yeah, check the map and see if the footsteps could potentially. Because I think you would have to walk past the juniors to get to the grave.
Corey, because I came in late. Did you say Elizabeth couch theory at any point?
Oh God.
Oh, I haven't brought it up. It's a. I do think that people might be right that the legs are a bit longer, but the sprite is very similar to a lot of the
Corey
usual
and Connie,
children or
the
dead
both
children
of you,
sprite.
I have to be brutally honest, because I made fun of you, like not of you, but of the theory, like on Twitter for Elizabeth Couch Person.
No, go off. Do whatever you want.
Look, I'm not gonna go off because I have like a ton of reasons for disagreeing, but my main argument is if Elizabeth is the couch person and she's like 4 when she dies, why is she speaking so eloquently to William?
It's not. It's less eloquent than you think. I think it's a very simple sentence.
Yes, but she's speaking to him as if he's an equal.
I have more questions about Mike being the vengeful spirit than that.
I can answer.
We'll save that
I'll do it
for
right now.
another-
Maybe not right now.
Oh no.
Save that for another
Corey
time.
said.
I'm ready.
Corey
Wait, let me explain my new theory.
Yeah.
Withered Circle, let me explain my theory.
What?
Can you hear me at all, or am I so bad that you can't?
No, I can hear
what?
you. You
What's going
cleared
on?
out.
We can hear you.
Okay. My new theory
Oh no.
is yellow guy care.
That's just Will Kill of extra
because
subs.
Michael was actually 21 and he ran off to the bar, and yellow guy doesn't want him to be an alcoholic like him.
Wow.
So
what a
he said
good
he'll be
parent.
sorry when he gets back, because I'll make him watch sobriety videos.
I'm sure he's never killed any children ever. What an exemplary man. Everyone in
I
chat
actually think
applaud
it's
this brilliant man.
Concept.
for
Yellow
his
guy is
amazing parenting.
yellow because yellow guy is baked into a pizza.
No, we're not doing
it's
Andrew
Andrew.
Pizza.
Oh my god.
Cypher, your turn. I don't want to listen to this madness.
I will say.
Try 14 if my theory was better.
So
Mine?
the funny thing about that is there is one evidence of basis is that in the security logbook, Mike says he's addicted to chewing gum, which is something people will do when they're trying to get rid of a previous addiction, say drugs or alcohol, especially if it's nicotine gum.
I have changed my mind.
Already?
I have decided. So Orange Guy, I do believe might actually be William, because I think that Orange Guy is actually Toy Chica without her beak.
Oh my god.
And as we know,
Oh
Toy
fuck!
Chica is William Afton.
Is William Afton.
Hey, as I've said, we keep bringing up 14 theory. Toy Chica is leading on the 15th locker, and it's her locker.
Oh my
15 is
God.
Springtrap.
It's
which
peak.
which is telling us that Toy Chica represents Springtrap in this thing.
Which is
She has his locker.
Okay.
Is William Afton.
Okay.
Okay.
Cypher, your
Yeah,
turn.
no one ever. I never realized that what the implications of that theory being William Afton is thick as hell.
Okay, Corey, you're not allowed to talk anymore.
Cypher,
Mute your mic. Let's
Cypher,
finish.
we need some
I'm
sanity.
saying the implication. I'm not saying it's
Alright.
true.
We need some sanity in the chat, Cypher. Go ahead. Go off.
I would love to share my Midnight Motorist ideas. Well,
Yes.
my main idea. So, the time setting, I believe, is 1987 because of the dice. The driver, I believe, is William with a raincoat. Runaway
Yo.
is probably Mike. I believe after the bite of 83, because I believe Shadow Freddy was created from the bite because he's an agony being, I believe Mike has been having these nightmares since he was very young. In the movie, he says that he's been having these dreams since Garrett's kidnapping.
Mm-hmm.
So, the sitter, right? I think it's either Mrs. Afton or Aunt Jane.
Oh my god. The movie crossover goes crazy.
You might think I'm crazy for saying Jane, but if Mike is revealed to be an Afton and Jane is William's sister, maybe.
That would explain a lot about how she is.
It also explains why she's sitting on a brown couch watching TV when she dies in the FNAF movie. Shh.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Oh, that's
I
true,
believe
yeah.
the movie's version of Midnight Motorist is Golden Freddy showing up to Mike's house, taking his sibling to a Freddy's location, and knocking out Aunt Jane. I don't think she's dead. I really think that she's related to William, but we'll talk about that another time.
Or related, potentially related to his wife or some kind.
Maybe. Okay.
His unnamed wife that will
So
probably never be important.
okay, my personal idea is that Mike's mom is William's ex, but that's a topic for another time.
Oh, in the
All right.
movies?
Yes.
Yeah, I could see it because I've said that.
Okay.
Definitely.
You and me are gonna get along very well.
Hell yeah.
Alright. Okay. Prints. The footprints. Shadow Freddy. Or Golden Freddy.
Okay.
Or both. They could be the same person.
The mound. Bite victim. I really think it's his grave. I think the clearing is Fall Fest. I think Bite Victim was buried in Fall Fest. Because it reminds Afton of what he does.
Yeah, that is maybe we'll see more things pointing towards that. Maybe we'll see things pointing away from that. I do think that is a compelling idea for what that clearing is and why he was buried there. Because now there's like sentimental value, you know? And again, with the connection to FNAF World.
Exactly. So, where was he led to? I believe he was led to a Freddy's location. And I believe that it was probably the DCI. Later that night might be the DCI. So, what I'm believing right now is, because, Unwithered brought, Unwithered brought up a really good thing, like a really good idea that, Fredbear's was renovated to be the second location, and now I'm believing it. So I'll say that Junior's is the revamped Fredbear's. Because now I'm starting to think that that's what they might do in the film. And I'm kind of a little iffy. I will say reasons for Mike to leave. Definitely trauma and nightmares. I think he sees Shadow Freddy, the agony of his brother that is leading him placed somewhere to realize what, William is doing. And then Mike comes back and he's like, I witnessed something horrifying. And then William's like, you're not supposed to see that.
I'm gonna gaslight you.
Yeah. So that night, DCI, reasons and story. So the main idea of the story that I'm thinking right here is how Mike became a guard and how he started his journey. Because we play as Mike, he's a victim of Mike. The mini games are victims of William. And I just think that it's Mike Fritz origins and, how Mike started with the nightmares from, am I saying that he's having nightmares of FNAF 4? I don't think so yet. I just think he's having nightmares and trying to go back and fix his mistakes. Because in the movie, Golden Freddy is like, you're here to change what happened. You're not here to figure out who kidnapped him. You're here to fix what you did. And that's my idea.
Bringing that up made me think of two things, but if we do want to, the first thing is it's thinking about this is an 87. This being, I first thought of the Save Them minigame, that being the puppet leading Freddy specifically to save someone, and the idea of this is a similar or the same incident of Shadow / Golden Freddy / maybe the puppet wearing Golden Freddy, which might be Shadow Freddy, leading Mike in some kind of last ditch effort of like, well, we know this guy. But that also led me to a second idea of it's not impossible that the him being set up as Fritz Smith wasn't the runaway situation, but his punishment. That this wasn't the night of, but he said he'll be sorry he gets back, and he was like, "Oh well, since you love being in that place so much, I'll set you up as the night guard," which is an almost near-death experience.
That's actually really a good idea. That is such a good idea.
Especially since they were strapped for they said they were strapped for a replacement. It's possible I was like, well, I know a kid, and that was his punishment.
Zeto.
Oh my god.
Are you like available to go off about Midnight Motorist?
Like my interpretation of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go off.
All right. I think we play as William. After Charlie's death, the mound is probably the crying child's grave. Junior's is probably just a restaurant. Mike's the runaway, and the couch person is probably Mrs. Afton. And the footprints are Shadow Freddy. That's what I think. That's all.
That's like the basic assumption, which I honestly agree with.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll just do my interpretations and we'll finish off the stream, I guess.
Yeah.
So I have two variants. I have the evil variant and I have the normal variant. So the normal variant is basically what like Zeto just said, where it's just like Michael Runaway. I don't know if it's 87, I don't know if it's like right after Charlie died or whatever. Whatever it is, it's quite basic. The evil version is the theory that I made like a couple months ago, where Bite Victim is the runaway, Mike is the couch person, and Michael is lured out of his Bite Victim is lured out of the house by Shadow Bonnie or Shadow Freddy. It fluctuates. But one of the Shadow animatronics who's like attached himself to him, like in the Fazbear Fright story Hide and Seek. If you can't tell, yes, I love connecting Fazbear Fright stories to the games, like through narrative parallels.
Fazbear Frights.
Which is ironic because I'm a stitch liner, so I shouldn't do parallel shit, but I do. In like I don't do stitch line, like I do narrative parallels, not like parallels like MatPat. But
yeah.
So it's like that, and Bite Victim has like this shadowy thing attached to him after what he saw at Fredbear's, which is like a big motif of FNAF 4. Like, remember what you saw, and what he saw would have been a springlock failure, which is why it materializes as Bonnie in the original theory, or why it materializes as like Fredbear. Like, I don't know if it's Shadow Freddy or Shadow Bonnie, but either one of those can tie back to the springlock suits without a big problem. So yeah, that's pretty much my interpretation of Midnight Motorist.
I always get intrigued by, because we didn't really get to talk about the interpretation of crying child Bite Victim being the one who escapes in Midnight Motorist, because it's not impossible, although by this point, if Junior's is the Fredbear's location, then it has been changed to a different location, and it's not Fredbear's. However, the question is always, where is the Bite Victim going? Because they didn't seem like the running away type in FNAF 4, but even then, it's like they hated Fredbear's, and being lured there would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I think that always gets into like very deep and very specific stuff on each particular person of what they think and why it would be doing that.
I had a thought.
Mm-hmm. Love having those.
To go off of Jane being the couch person, if I'm not mistaken, she says she reminds me of you, you know, always with the temper.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that she watched Mike when he was younger, and if either Shadow Freddy or Golden Freddy is going to Mike's house, and she's
crazy.
referring to Abby as reminds me of you, Mike run away question.
That's crazy.
Abby run out the window challenge.
Abby should have busted out the window, dude. Which the reason when I withered very early in the stream, but you were talking about Oswald escaping out the window as well, and then it gets boarded up, is I know this because I made like a joke post about it of like, I love how the one major weakness to Springtrap isn't fire, it's just escaping out the window. It's happened to him at least twice with two of his sun-like figures. Like, if you're a sun-like figure with Springtrap, just escape out the window. You can only do it once, but once you're out, you know?
Yeah.
His biggest weakness.
Unless
what is he gonna do?
Then you're not out. Then you've still got like 3 more minutes to go.
Yeah. It depends on what order you do the things.
Yeah,
in.
I usually do the window on like night 3 or 4 because I can worry about the ladder and whatever.
Yeah, we do. Well, me and Connie tend to do the window like last or whatever because it's the easiest one, and we do the hardest one first. Yeah.
So everyone's gone over the Midnight Motorist interpretations, and we've gone for almost 3 hours. So I think we're good to finish it off here, yeah? Unless anyone has anything else to add.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, I think that's about it. We even covered
yapped for
the
a long
crying
time.
child bit, which I.
Thanks everyone for coming
Master
here
yappers.
and for being here for my birthday stream. It's now no longer my birthday. It's past
Yeah.
midnight for me.
Oh yeah, of course, buddy.
It's still your birthday.
It's your
in our
birthday
time
as long
zone.
as you
Wait,
believe.
it's night for
Yeah.
you? You could go for a drive and be
Yeah.
As long as I
the
don't
midnight
run over
shit.
anyone.
motorist.
You could
It's not-
do it at 12
Wait,
in the
wait,
morning.
Wither though, it's not real unless you get drunk. Drunk drive on stream right now.
Okay.
That's gonna
Coward.
be my next stream. I just have to get a kick license first, then I'll do it.
Yeah, get a kick.
How old are
Oh,
you?
you could even hit a dog. That happened on kick.
Yeah, sure.
How old are you?
Chat, prepare for my kick comeback. I'm gonna be streaming
Me?
on kick every day, committing federal crimes.
No. I'm Wither.
Yay!
Wither.
Dude,
Oh,
if
yeah.
William Afton had just streamed on kick, he would have been set for life.
How
How
thanks
old are you,
everyone
Wither?
for coming to the stream, for watching the stream. We hit like 250 viewers, which was cool, which is a first for me.
Yay!
And thanks everyone who was here in the voice chat, even those who aren't here anymore, who left and were sacrificed to the bandwidth gods.
Yeah.
I really appreciate all of you. So it was really cool being able to talk. So yeah, bye.
Thank
Yep, sure, no problem.